Okay, there we are again. Welcome, everyone. And welcome back to episode 2 of our virtual role-playing game where we play with Crozyr, MissLadyJ, RyanGodric, and Lothari. And what we're doing is basically we're taking Dungeons and Dragons and putting it in the virtual universe. Because I got a lot of questions. The virtual role-playing game is a bit complex, and we have some newcomers as well. So we are saying let's use some system which we also have the tools which can which make it a bit easier. So that's why we use D&D. And before I'm talking a lot of time, let's jump right in. Let's quickly introduce everyone, and then let's start. So Crozyr, who are you actually?
Yeah, hi everyone, my name is Crozyr. I am a Gwent streamer. You find me Twitch at twitch.com/Crozyr. And I'll try to stream around 5 times a week, 1 p.m. CET. That's when you can watch me be a potato and play some Gwent.
Alright, I'm MissLadyJ. I'm a South African streamer for Gwent, and my handle on Twitch and Twitter is MissLadyJ_ZA.
I'm RyanGodric, or just Ryan, and I also stream Gwent on Twitch, not on YouTube, only on Twitch, 8 p.m. CEST every single day during the week. And it's always RyanGodric everywhere.
Hi, I'm Lothari. I am an article writer for Team Aretusa and also a small-time Gwent streamer on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at Lothari Noslil on Twitch.
Awesome. And I'm Cran Cricket. I'm doing weekly in-depth Gwent guides, or I will do them again soon as I come to as soon as I'm able to play a bit more again. And what we're currently doing here is we're currently doing this weekly D&D campaign. So if you haven't seen this before, we're doing this every Monday from now on. And last time we had our first episode, and there was quite a lot happening. So the question is, can everyone remember what was happening? So can you recap a bit, what happened?
I think my character killed 5 enemies.
Oh, yes.
That's me, actually.
I think the recap we have is that Calavandrel only rolled 14s or higher, and Hager only rolled 4s or lower, basically.
And I'm dying.
That is true.
There was this one time when I took my axe and halved somebody.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty
that's true.
Yeah.
Going back to this,
We were trying to travel. If I know the map properly, which I might not, we were traveling east on the Yaruga or south on an estuary of the Yaruga.
South on the Aina, actually.
On the Aina, sorry, my bad. And we were ambushed.
That's true.
A day into our journey, a tree crashed on top of us. Elves appeared out of nowhere and then were easily dispatched.
I got half the kills.
That's true.
Yeah. Calavandra was a badass.
Do you remember with which you traveled, or with whom you traveled?
What do you mean?
we traveled with a merchant that got killed immediately by the elves, I think by with an arrow. There was a dwarf, yes, you got killed as well. Everybody got killed that we traveled with, at least as far as I remember.
I don't think Rhea.
Yeah, I think Rhea.
Oh, Rhea's still there.
We don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, no one
if she
knows.
survived.
So Gwen Sensei dwarf died, and Captain Wilhelm, I think he also bit the dust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he took the arrow.
Arrow to the face right in front of me.
Yeah, and other than that, we're all heading south for different reasons. Some of us have common interests. So Diok and Herger want to slay a beast, presumably a werewolf, that is plaguing Mayena. But I think there's some other ambitions here as well.
Okay. Well, that's something. You at least know the people who you traveled with. You know, like, what happened last. For you guys, like, there was also, like, some tavern fun going on. So if you want to check it out, you can check last episode. And other than that, I would say we take it from here. And the situation is as follows. Like, you dispatched the last of the elf, and this is where we cut it. And Calavandra is pretty like hurt pretty badly. She actually took like from the last elf like a cut right into her like in her chest, and like she's bleeding quite heavily actually. Ryan got like Diog actually saw some elves heading off into the distance over the tree. Like there were like one elf who actually came back like to kind of like fend you off, but like it didn't last too long. I think like Diog actually killed him or Calavendra. I'm not sure.
Calavendra
Calavendra
took the execution blow.
Yes.
I think Efri and I wanted to keep it alive, or the elf, the elf alive, but
I think the elf died right into your arms, and so the situation is as follows. Like, I think Crozyr hit a wall, like Herga hit a wall, and like is now standing in front of the
Don't
wall.
mention that.
Calavendra is like hurt pretty badly and like is basically bleeding. Diog has like a dead elf in his hand, like with a dagger, like in his back, and Efri is like looking from the, like on the bottom, like on the bottom side of the ship. Or the downside of the ship, like on the lower deck. On the lower deck is basically looking upwards and like looking what's happening there. And it's like it's night. You don't know what time it is exactly. Probably like something between like I'd say like 11 and 3. The moonlight is not that good, and now you're like on this crashed ship, and the sounds of combat like are well gone now, and like you don't hear too much. Some frogs are like making some noises, but that's it. And the waves are... You hear the waves. Other than that, it's quite silent now. What do you do?
I turn towards Efri and ask her if these elves that got pushed off the ship, or at least the one elf, if she knows if they would survive that.
They are likely not dead. And we should probably keep a close lookout, just in case they come back.
Are we?
Efri's looking around, and now that the combat's finished and the adrenaline's fading away, it's starting to tick in for her again that, oh wait, this is my first combat, and I have no idea what's going on or why. So she's taking a moment, like internally she's going, oh god, why, what happened? But externally, like, she's just looking around very stoic, just like taking stock of the situation.
I think Diog asks if anybody wants to join him to check if there's still anybody alive inside the ship.
I don't think I can, because I feel so weak.
You actually can move. Like you feel the nausea coming in. You're like the bleeding is well, you bleed, but it doesn't feel like you're like dying right away. But
Just
like,
feel lightheaded.
Sorry again.
Like lightheaded.
Yeah, you feel a bit lightheaded. Like you also like everything like moves around you, kind of like you're on a ship, but like a bit more than usual. And for let's say until you're properly fixed, or let's say you're like rested a bit, you also have disadvantage on everything like from now on until you like get some health points back, so to say.
Yeah.
Do you call out for help, Calavendra?
No, I just need space.
So she's like well,
Just
like,
leave me be.
Alright, Efri, why don't you join me downstairs, and Herga, you keep an eye out on if any elves keep coming back.
what do you do with
And
the
I
dead
like.
body? Because you have a dead body kind of like on your arm, dear.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do with that?
Oh, I've got the dead body, right. First, I'm a bit pissed that they still killed her, or the elf. But I'm just gonna lay the body down and see if I can find any marks that tell me where this elf is coming from, or what this elf, or which group this elf belongs to. So I'm
Do you have
gonna
any
check for...
history, like with square tail troops and like their heraldry, kinda?
Not too much. I do speak the elven tongue, so I did hear that the elf shouted, "We got what we wanted. Let's turn back." But I didn't tell anybody yet. So
So if
I
you look,
think
if you look at the elf like and examine him, like there's nothing that would give away like where he come from or what he did there. Like,
is there anything valuable that he's like wearing?
Well, he has like some kind of like bandana. Like he has like a short sword. There's not too much he has on its body. Some like he has some crowns on him if you want to take them. So like something like 20 crowns or something.
I'll take
No.
that.
I'll drop the body on the floor.
So kind
And I'll
of you
just
basically like how do you have something valuable? Oh, 20 crowns. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, like people watch you just in case.
Yeah, they know. They know.
I would like to go to where the other two guys were, the upstairs
Mhm.
area, if you want to call it that, and look around if I see more foes, because I'm still blood crazed and I would like to use my axe a bit more. And this tree also starts looking like a very attractive target.
Yeah, well, your rage currently like fades off a bit because you haven't been like able to hit a target, or like you won't be able, like you haven't been hit like last round. So you're like, but it's slowly, and like there's nothing in the near vicinity. So if you wanna like just hit the triangle part, yeah, go ahead.
I think I can just barely control myself, but I'm like, ugh.
Sorry, go ahead.
So Herga did not quite understand, for some reason, because this is what he first thought. For some magical reason, the tree fell onto the ship, or have we crashed into a tree?
You
What
don't
happened?
know actually. Well, the
Okay.
tree is on the boat right now, so it's not in front of
okay.
it. But you didn't see. You just heard when the tree came crashing down on the ship, and you felt
okay.
Okay.
So can I try to see what happened if they like try to pushed it over onto the boat? Because we are on a river, right? So that we're basically like, close to the shore, I assume. And then-
Actually, in the middle of the river is like, let's say, probably like something around like 7 meters, like probably even more, like 8 meters, like width. Like its width is like 8 meters something, and the tree is pretty big. It's like one of these big trees you heard about when you were like, or which you saw when you on the ship on the first day. So actually, the tree is like kind of like as big as the ship nearly, like at least in where like the big trunk is. You kind of like got hit just by the head of the tree, so to say. But it was enough to just like stop the ship in its tracks, and the ship is now like kind of like it can't move. Like the tree just holds it in place.
Oops.
They're coming for you. Run!
Yeah, I exclaim to my friends, guys, there is a tree on our ship. What happened?
And I'll be like, yeah, I can see that. I'm standing right next to it. But I have no idea what happened.
Calavandro, did you see how I killed that guy?
Yes, the one guy you killed.
I'm a hero.
Oh, okay. Couldn't kill the other guys that were next to us earlier.
I let them. I let you have them because.
So you let them attack me.
Are you hurt?
Yes, I'm hurt.
You actually
Can I
see
see your
also that
wound?
she's hurt. Like she has a big cut in her. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like
okay.
holding my chest.
So I was in a rage, so I didn't really perceive everything around me as clearly. So now this is coming back to me. I have like semi-decent proficiency in medicine. Does it look like it could be anything that I could help with somehow with my knowledge?
Question is, do you think you can?
I mean, I've helped with animals that got hurt
Oh.
back on my farm.
It's kind of the
So-
same for you, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that could somehow be relatable, like a cut.
Yeah. Well, cuts are easy, I guess.
Yeah.
You
So
wanna
should
try?
I? Yeah. So on medicine, right?
Yes. Do you have like a medicine package as well?
One moment, I'm trying to check.
Let's see.
Inventory, equipment. I've got holy water.
Yeah. Well.
I don't know where that comes from.
I did pick up that one flower outside of the village,
Oh, wait.
right? So maybe
Yeah, I
I
was
can...
gonna ask you about that.
I got
Help them.
I got oil,
That's true.
a rogue water skin. A wooden stake, in case I realize she's a vampire. I rolled a 17, by the way, +2.
That's good.
An elven vampire.
Yeah.
So you don't use any tools. You basically just like do what you can do on the fly.
Yeah. So first of all, I would see if like the cut is, I like how deep the cut is, and like if any bones or like important muscles are cut through or something.
So like cut is not too deep. It's just like really long, so to say. So it like hurt her from basically from the chest upwards, but it's not like internal. Like, it doesn't look to you that too much internal organ were hit, but like the bleeding is still like, because like the cut is just so like long, so to say. There's a lot of blood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would call out for help. I would say, everyone help! Calavandra is hurt! we need bandages! Help the poor woman.
Alright, so I turn back and grab the flower, which name I've forgotten, out of my bag and provide that to Helga. Maybe he can create some form of, I don't know, a cream or something. No, what do you call it?
The flower is called celandine, and like for the future you probably should like write it down.
Yeah. That's true.
Or you can actually add it in the tool, like in D&D Beyond. You can actually just add an item and just add whatever you get from there, for example. So if you want to keep easier track of stuff.
Yeah, my character is actually proficient in nature and survival.
Well, you actually like you definitely know this flower, and like you have like used it in also on animals in your farm. It's basically it's the default healing like for cuts or external like bruises, so to say. Like
okay, so I take the flower and I put it in my mouth and chew on it and make like a paste with my spit, and then I start putting it all over the cut, and I say, "This
It's on my chest.
You have to be strong."
Well, like as he like puts this onto you, like it actually hurts like a lot, but what you also like after like the initial application, so to say, you also feel a small tickling, and it actually doesn't feel too bad on yourself.
Yeah. And this is the one time that you can touch my chest.
Okay.
And then Helga just blushes and doesn't say anything.
Okay, so Calavandra kind of like got the medicine package. So for me, the question is now: you're standing on a ship in Nipe, you're shipwrecked. Like, how do you want to go?
I do, on Deoch's instruction, I do go to do like a tour of the ship to see who else is alive.
Okay, so you do a quick body count. There are some elves there. The captain lies dead. He actually has the arrow like through his face. The Skellige guy who was also on the ship also lies dead. He's like lying next to the tree, actually, like not far from Calavandra. There's no trace from the dwarf, and there's no trace from Rhea here. And on the ship there are some like supply stores. You also have like your rest of the equipment is still in the cabin, so that's lying there. And but there's no trace of any further sign of living, so to say.
Okay. And the dwarf, and I'm going to mess up her name now.
Rhea.
There's actually no sign of them at all.
No.
Interesting. I go and report that then back to Deoch. I say, it looks like the elves that are still on board are all dead. The captain, was it the first? It wasn't the first mate, was it? The Skellige. No. It was just the helmsman.
No, you haven't ever asked them.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, so I report that the captain and the other Skellige both dead, and no sign of the rest of the crew.
No sign of them.
No sign. I presume they jumped overboard.
Rhea doesn't really seem like the type that jumps overboard, right, to flee. So, you know what I heard when the elves left? I saw like 2 more elves on the tree, but they turned around, and one of them shouted that they got what they wanted. So maybe Rhea is more important than we thought.
And do I hear this? Am I hearing range of the fact that she's gone?
Yes, you're all standing basically on the upper side of the ship with the tree. next to the tree.
Yeah, I put my hands behind my head, like in astonishment. Not like this, like in astonishment, like or like this. And I'm like, Grahia is gone. No, where have she taken her? Where have they taken her? And I look around, and I'm like, it's probably if I can see anybody.
You can make a perception check.
Yeah. All right. 13 plus 2.
Rolling high numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so 16.
13 plus 2?
Yeah.
15.
So you look over the board, over the boat, and what you see is like you're quite a bit away of the ground, so to say, and you can't really make out anything in the distance because like on the entrance of the forest, like the forest is really like next to the river. It's more or less just black. You just see like the shades of the trees, and there's, as I said, like there's quite some silence. There's not really much there you can see actually.
Okay.
Because you don't see traces or something.
Are trees reminiscent of the one that's on our boat?
Some, like the forest is kind of like consists of like these big trees and some of the small trees like around it. So it's like two different sizes kind of.
Yeah. Then I turn around to the others and say, "Friends, there's more of these suspicious trees over there at the shore. This can't be a coincidence. They must have taken her there. Can we still move the ship?"
I'd say not.
I don't think we can.
Well, I hope I, as a Skellig, am not the only one who's capable of swimming. And I,
Well, we can take the tree and walk across the tree to the mainland, right?
Oh wait, did it fall from the shore? I thought it was in the middle.
It's actually lying still one side on the shore and like
Oh,
the other side
I
on the
see,
ship.
I see.
I know, Helge, you're not the smartest, but I think I would still prefer to take the tree than the water.
Did you just call me stupid?
No, absolutely not. I would have said stupid.
That's
And my
correct.
character is just like sitting on the crates going like this.
Yeah.
These
Every
two.
shaking her head.
She's like dying, like, oh god, like what?
Yeah. I'm suspiciously like side eyeing Diok if he's trying to make fun of me.
All right, getting serious now. I think we should stick together, guys and girls, because I don't know. You saw what they did to our captain, right? So let's not get distracted. Stay close together. I know we've got different goals where we want to go, but for now, I think it's best if we try to have our backs. And I think what we have to decide now is if we either try to repair the ship and go on, or do we want to go out and look if we can find Rahir and maybe find the origin of those elves and also find out what they were looking for and what they found.
Quick question from me here. Like, does any one of you actually know how to like? Does someone have craftsman skills, so to say? Like, especially with the wooden type.
Alright. Last part. Especially with?
With let's say wooden material, like wood, for example. It's not a skill per se. It's more like background wise, you know.
I can do a bit of woodwork, but I don't know how a ship works.
Yeah,
But maybe the Skelligan does.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the Skelligan has like one thing like straight into his mind, and it's like there's a big tree on the ship, and like as long as that's there, like the ship probably won't move.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
So either we get into the tree and try to fix the boat.
How far are we away from the original destination on foot?
Well, the captain said you probably take like 2 days kind of like on the ship, and you already had like 1 day and like 1 night on the ship. So it's not, you're in the middle of the night, so we're probably somewhere half of the trip, I guess. On the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to take another 2 or 3 days by foot if we want to reach our destination.
Depends on your walking like speed and like how good you are at navigating through a forest.
Oh, that's easy for me.
Effrey's not. She kind of raises her voice, saying, "I'm not terribly experienced on traveling through," and kind of points to the tree and then further to the shore and just says, "That." If there is a way to leverage the tree off the boat, it could perhaps be explored, but it takes time.
Would it take as much time as traveling to our destination?
And
Well,
then
but we-
there's also the question of finding this woman on Herger's behest.
We have a tree lover with us. I'm sure she'll be able to guide us to the forest. Isn't this your home?
Yes, it is. I will guide us.
Then what are we waiting for? There's a fair maiden to be rescued on the other side of this forest.
We should at least give Calavandra some time to heal.
And I am taking my great axe and I point it skyward and I shout to my ancestors and then I start climbing the tree. And
I just roll my eyes.
Stop! We need time to rest.
Let's grab the tools we left in our cabin.
Yeah, that's a good idea, I guess.
Yeah.
So you're going
Yes,
back.
that too.
You get your equipment, and so for me the question is: do you rest on the boat, or do you go straight away, straight into the forest?
There's no time for resting.
Says the woman who's like dead, but okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, that's determination, I guess. Yeah, sure.
If you're no use to us dead, Calavandra. You need to sleep. At least.
I've had much worse. I can handle this.
How long is it into the night? Like, how many hours do we have until the sun comes up?
We don't know.
Guessing,
Can I do a
that-
perception test?
Is that survival?
it's actually survival. Yes.
Survival. All right, I'll do a survival roll then. Oh wait, I need the link to the dice. There it is.
Sorry.
I've got it.
Perfect.
All good. 17 plus 3.
That's good.
Nice.
Oh,
So, like, according to like how light like the sun is and kind of like how the moonlight like shines, you're kind of saying like it's probably something like 5 hours, maybe 4 to 5, until the sun comes up.
Okay, so my suggestion is that if we actually do want to follow these elves, that we do it at night, because I think during the day they have the upper hand, but at night I've got pretty good eyesight, and I think Calavandrel here is also pretty good at navigating during the dark. So I would say that we two go ahead and scout, and either we go straight now or we wait until like it's the next night, but I would say we go now.
yes, we go now.
Don't
I don't
expect me to take responsibility for Calavandra's death.
I don't like waiting. Who knows what these filthy elves do by the time we get there.
Yes, the more time we waste, the more they could have done to our fellow boat friends.
Wife, colleague. Okay, so you
Mechanical.
actually, so you're
Sorry.
packing up. So yeah.
Quick mechanical question
Yes.
on my cantrips. How long does that take to reset?
Until you do a long rest. So you
Awesome.
you only
Also
have one-
expect me to be zero use.
You have one first level spell slot currently.
Who needs that when Harrigan can roll high numbers this time?
Yeah,
Very
I
good
will,
point.
I will kill anyone who sends in our way. Don't worry. You can trust your
It's time to
lives
prove himself.
in my hand. I will prove myself. I will prove my worth.
Okay.
I'm
So,
also almost at
You
level.
grab your
Oh,
equipment and you're actually trying to get to the shore, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
looks like it.
Okay, so how do you do that then?
So sorry, I gotta ask one quick question. I think my sheet didn't save my hit points because I got more than last time until you healed us over course of.
I didn't track your hit points, so if you didn't put it
Okay,
in
maybe
there-
I forgot to change because I've only got 6 hit points. I shouldn't say numbers. 63,000 hit points.
60-ish.
Oh my god, this is crazy. I actually see you doing this on my screen. Like, wait, no. Wait. Oh, never mind. Okay, my
I corrected it from last time.
Okay. Yes, there you go. Okay.
I guess
I would
we
go
try
ahead.
to climb over the tree.
Yeah, me too.
Good. In which order?
I would
Me
like to go
first.
first.
No, I'm first.
You can try to be first, like.
I'm faster than you.
And I, of course, as I noticed that Calavandra also wants to go, I say, of course, I will let the lady go first. And
Cool.
Or is it because you lost your stay down?
Well, for like going over the tree basically requires you an acrobatic checks. And Calavandra, don't forget you have disadvantage on it, so you have to roll twice and take the lowest result.
Oh, alright. Let me just put in this number. So I have to roll twice.
Mm-hmm.
First one's a 12.
Mhm.
And the next one's 15.
Okay, so take the 12.
Yeah. That's together. With the plus 7.
No, it's like plus your modifier.
Yeah, it's got the modifier.
So 12 plus 7 or...
No. It's 5 plus 7.
I see, okay. But it's actually enough. Like, so you're actually going, like, you climb on the tree, like, but you're doing fine. And like, contrary to all probably like who watched you on the ground, you're actually pretty nimble on the tree, and you're like, pop, 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 pop. You're a bit slower than usually, but like you're actually like making it to the other side without any problems.
Alright.
Yeah.
I looked
To the
at-
others- oh,
I
sorry.
look to Herger to see whether he'll let me go next.
And of course, I basically like how do you describe this motion in English? I like wave.
Point the way.
Yeah, I say lead the way, and also I say look how nimble my celandine paste made our friend Calavanda. I want to point that out.
I rolled an 18 plus 2.
Pretty good. So you're basically same thing. Like you're climbing up, and then you're kind of like lifting your dress, and you're like, pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And at this point, I also do the same motion for Diok.
I'm gonna say, Haga, go first. I'll be the, what do you call the backlight? Of
The rear guard.
The rear guard.
And I look at him and like, how would I describe this? I'm like,
Squint.
to try to like figure out how he's trying to insult me, but then I'm like, yeah, I have to protect our companions, and I rush over the tree. 9 plus, what is it? Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Plus 1, so 10.
Well, that's kind of enough. Like you're running over, you slip a bit, but you're like, "Huh!" And like you're running, and the last like kind of like next to the shore, you slip again, but you're like, while you're slipping, you're like, oh yeah, and jump, and you make a big leap onto the shore, and you're like, whew, close call.
Can I grab him
Calculated.
to help him not to fall? Because I rolled a natural 20 and I've got plus 8.
If you went like after it,
no.
like after him immediately, you can.
Yeah.
So
I
basically,
went straight off.
at the moment where you like slip and you want to jump, like you see like RyanGodric, like Diok, my bad, I'm sorry, like Diok jumps like next to you, like on one feet, he's like grabbing you, jumps like throws you kind of like onto the shore, makes a pirouette like on like jump lands on the other foot like and like makes like a nimble jump onto the shore, and he's like ta-da. Well, without the ta-da, you can do what you.
My character's like typical Helga.
No, can we pretend the ladies didn't see this, and to Diok I say, don't tell the elf.
Depends on the ladies, I guess.
Don't tell the elf. Oh my god.
But I could hear well, so I heard everything that happened there.
Yeah, you.
I was probably watching.
You standing next to them, and you probably watched all. Yes.
Yeah.
You made it to the shore. Congratulations.
Yes.
And
Alright,
Alright.
no time to
Didn't
rest. Let's go.
drown.
I will do another perception test. Check.
Yes, you can. What are you looking for specifically?
I'm looking for, first of all, human beings or elves, and also for any kind of marks on the ground that tell me where they went.
Mm-hmm. So when you look at the ground, like since like the light is really like dark, but like your eyes actually adapted pretty good to the darkness, so you kind of like see that there are tracks underground. There are a lot of tracks actually, and they're going into different directions. Most of them going to the south, but they're like spreading up, so to say. And there is no one in the near vicinity.
Okay. I did roll a 19.
Oh my god.
Plus 6. So
That's
I
how
would
you found
say,
the
I would
track.
suggest, yeah, we found the track. I would suggest that we follow the track with the most feet and with the most, I don't know, the biggest tracks, and don't separate.
Does it look like someone's being dragged? Did I miss that part of the information?
If you look at it, it doesn't look like there is another footprint like there's no, how to say, like dragging marks, like someone's dragging on the floor, like on the ground, so to say. So there's no big kind of like. But since like Diog is really good, like if he wants to look for that, like he may be able to. Actually, yeah, one of the tracks probably looks like it's strange because most of the footprints look in like that direction, and there are some on the other direction. But like there's one is particularly where like this direction and this direction kind of like matches on the same. So like someone is kind of like dragged backwards and like still like, you know, we're tapping onto the ground or something.
Well, it seems like we have a kidnapping. Or adult napping.
Helga, it seems like your love interest has been taken.
I don't know what we're still standing here for. We have to save her.
All right, let's.
Am I the
go
only
and
one who
follow
wants to
these
save
tracks.
this fair maiden?
Yes.
Okay.
Kinda.
So moving on.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're gonna follow these tracks.
Okay.
I've
So-
got my great axe in hand, and I stomp forward, and I can aggressive 5-year-old stomp.
Let me quickly find yours and like deactivate you because you're now in the forest, lost in the forest. No, actually not lost. You're actually following tracks. So, what you see is like you're leaving the river for a bit, like you're moving kind of like into the forest. And what you need to know about forests at that time, or basically the Witcher universe, is they're not like forests you would currently walk in the real life. They're not as light. They're actually really dense, and you're not being able to like just run through the forest because for the denseness, you actually have to move your way forward. If there's no track, then it's pretty hard to get a decent pace on in the forest. So like you're kind of like making your way through the forest. The question for me is like kind of like what's the marching order here? Like who's going first? Like how do you split the?
I mean, I could imagine that I go first, and whenever there's something in the way, I take my axe and try to cut it away, so I make a path for everyone else.
Mhm.
Should
Yeah.
do I need to roll on that, or is that...
No, it's fine. Like you're just making your way through the forest. It's
No.
I think Diog would be next because of his eyesight in the dark. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I would say that I want to be somewhere 1 or 2 in the group, and then have Effrey be 3, and maybe Calavandrel the rear guard.
Yep.
Yeah.
okay. So you're moving on, and again, like everyone, please roll a perception check.
All right.
Ugh.
Jesus.
3 plus 2.
14 plus 1.
11 plus 2.
19 plus 6.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's me today.
We're on rotation, I see.
Yeah.
If you're doing checks for the future, if there's not a natural 1 or a natural 20, just give me the end result because
Okay.
otherwise it's a bit much.
All right.
Okay. So you're moving, and like you probably like
25.
one. Sorry.
So it's a 25 then.
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
Basically, you're moving an hour. Like Helga, it always like needs to look back for Diog. Diog is like, is this still the correct track, kind of like? And Diog is like, yeah, there you go, pointing like Helga in the right direction. And you're making your way through the forest, and there's actually not that much happening. And at some point, like the traces, like are differently. Like after, I would say even like already after 5 to 10 minutes, you see that like the double foot traps kind of like stop, and now we have the typical drag marks like you would expect from someone being dragged in the ground. And at some point even the drag marks stop, and like there's just like normal foot traps of like a lot of people like being on a place. And you're just following them kind of like south. The river is still like, you still hear the river on your right side, but it's not like in the near vicinity. And you're moving, and it's getting a bit exhausting at some point. And Dirk, like while moving, like I would say like after the second hour or something, in the distance, like behind you, you hear like this
Wolves.
So I want to do like 2 perception tests. One for what that noise is, if it's really wolves or if it's maybe something like a werewolf, and the other one would be how many footsteps there are. Like, can I actually tell on how many
you
people?
need to do perception check, like
Okay.
just, like you actually like you noticed, and like werewolf kind of like doesn't do this typical pack howl, so to say, but it's like it's wolves, and they're still like in the distance. Like if they like are sprinting like towards you, so to say, then it would probably need 5 minutes. But you know wolves pretty well. Like you have some like you know.
Yeah.
So you like they probably just like if they actually on your trail, they would like need at least 10 minutes to be like where you are. And at this point, you don't really know if they're on your trail. So you just know that there are wolves somewhere behind you.
Hmm.
Are wolves in this universe more aggressive than the ones from ours? Or, because I have rather high survival value, I would say something like, normally wolves don't attack travelers in the forest unless they're very, very hungry.
It depends. It depends a bit on the forest, so to say, because you also have in Skellige some forests where wolves actually are attacking people if they get the let's say chance. Typically on a normal forest, like let's say like in Bergen or something, they would not attack anyone because then there's enough like wildlife they can feed on, which is like just easier game.
Okay. Yeah. I turn around to my friends and say, "Oh, I hope this is a werewolf. I can't wait for another chance to prove my worth."
I mean, like, don't
Sorry.
be silly. It's just a pack of wolves.
Yeah. Sorry to disappoint you, Helga, but let's keep moving.
And I'm disappointed, and I'm like a bit less enthusiasm. I whack at the vines in front of us.
Okay. So like you're going on Diok, I would like to have now another perception roll of you, and at the same time I would like to have another survival roll of you. Thank you.
So the perception was a 21, and the survival is a natural 20. What the hell? Oh my
Really
goodness.
I can't wait until next
I'm
week.
gonna screenshot this. I'm gonna screenshot these notes because it records every single roll.
Okay. Good, it's very good. So you see the tracks change a bit, and what you see is they're going faster from here. They actually did they changed some way of, let's say, transporting whatever they transported, and they made the way, and also like a group split up. So the ones you're currently like tracking are lesser and faster than before. And what you also see is like that you like the wolves you hear like they grow near definitely. And you have to like if the tracks actually were like now harder to track, but you actually kept on track. So for like everyone else, like looking at traps wouldn't even see traps. Like you're like, there we go.
Hmm. So I'm gonna say, okay, Helga, let me go first now, because we don't want to walk into these elves unprepared, alright?
Sure, but
Can you maybe
we're not gonna. Yeah.
Can you maybe swap with Calavandrel, go to the back and keep an eye out for the wolves, because I can hear them coming closer, so if they ever attack us, you can protect us with your heroic axe.
I will protect all of you. I will spill the wolf's blood over this forest.
What would we do without you?
Make sure you do, because
Don't be
I'm
good
not
right
much against.
Okay.
I don't want to be the wolf's dinner.
No, the wolves will be our dinner. I will make sure.
Okay. To make your way like more south, and like if you're probably like around 4 hours, and you actually see already the sun is kind of like slowly coming upwards. It's not like it's still like very dark, but you see some light shimmers already through the trees, and in the forest it's generally a bit darker than anywhere else. So you from time to time you see just like this light flickering through, and you're coming nearer to the river again. And actually, let me see. Where do we have it? There we have it. Like you're kind of like coming from the top, so to say, and there's like a small, how do you call them? Like where trees are not as like tied together as possible. What's the English word for it? Like, oh come on.
Clearing?
Clearing. Thank you very much. Exactly. Yeah, you come with the kind of like tree clearing, and what you see there is like the tracks there get really muddled like with the other traps, and like because they're like newer traps, but there's a lot of older traps, and it looks like people have like there's an old campfire there as well, but it doesn't look like the tracks you currently followed. Like it looks like people have been gathering there from time to time, and it's also like the same footprints like you followed. So since you have since you're such a good trail finder, so to say, you read this trails probably have been there like at least half a day, maybe a day, and you really have a hard time from now like seeing which track goes away from the clearing. And also like I would like to have another perception check of everyone.
Natural 20.
There you go. That's my boy.
10.
21.
20.
Oh my god.
This is amazing. Okay, what's happening is like actually like it seems like the wolves who actually like approached you like a trailed you. They actually trailed you, and you hear like then in the distance like that they're now actually approaching at your destination. But since you already like heard them right now, you have like a lot of time to actually prepare like if the wolves are coming, like for the wolves coming, so to say. Also, like Helga, like your battle sense immediately kicks in, and you're already like in your head. You're like, okay, like I'm prepared here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, the traps that we've seen, did you point them out to us? Like, did you show the traps to us?
Yes.
Or could they be useful, maybe against the wolves as we see them coming?
Sorry, was it traps? I thought it was tracks.
Tracks. I'm sorry. Like if you didn't get it right, it was tracks.
I understood that there were traps that we want to circumvent.
Yeah. There's actually an old
Sorry.
campfire here. Like it's not lit, but like there's like a campfire here,
Mm-hmm.
and it's actually cold now. And around the campfire and all on the clearing, also like to the river, there are a lot of tracks. And like the tracks you followed came also to this like tracks convergence, so to say. And like a lot of tracks lead in every direction from here.
Okay.
How useful is fire against wolves?
I was about to ask.
Well, like how much is your survival skill?
I've got plus
I mean, I can try and
You
roll.
you can also read, like you can maybe do history as well, like if you want to.
Sorry.
What?
Like every you can also like exchange survival here with history if you want to.
Yeah, okay, that's much better for me. I got a natural 1.
Oh, well, you actually read in the book like fire doesn't help at all. Like wolves like are actually drawn to fire, and also like their fur is very resistant to fire. So if you actually would like put fire on them, it wouldn't even like they're actually like that probably would even like fuel their rage. So
Okay, I don't suggest putting the fire on then.
Of course, I don't want to ruin that moment, but I also had the idea with the fire, and I've got like survival +4, and I know animals really well. Like I know I've got a lot of dogs at my farm.
If you start doing it, then every's like What are you doing? Don't be stupid. You'll draw them to us and make them stronger.
Every the fire. Have you never seen what animals react to fire? Have you ever seen?
Yes,
wolves
it's a
jump into
disaster.
flame?
Don't do it.
So actually, you make fire here?
No, I interrupt him and say it's a good idea, but we don't want the attention of the elves. They could still be around us. You can see this is a place they frequent often, and they might be coming back. And it's probably not only them that use this fireplace. So let's keep the fire out and just prepare for the wolves to come to us.
Okay. Hagar is shaking his head and is like, "Why is this Diok so smart all the time?"
I take out my long bow, and move towards the opposite side of the clearing, so the clearing is between us and where the wolves would be coming from.
Like here.
Yeah.
I am following Diok, and I kind of give a warning to the entire group. I draw my dagger, and I say to them, "Fair warning, I'm running out of tricks, and the only one I have left, I've never tried before. It might be dangerous."
Did you say the road or the clearing was muddy, like wet stuff on the river?
It's actually not that muddy. It's a bit muddy when you go into the direction of the river, but the tracks here are just like normal dirt. I would say, like not really hard dirt, but like soft dirt.
Is there anything in the area that I could use to like paint wall paint on my face?
You could go like, to the river, like there you can just like mix the dirt with water and like you can just.
If we got time for that, I would do that, and I would paint like.
Oh, also you have the old campfire. You can take like
the ashes.
Yes. Yeah, the ashes.
Coal.
Yeah, and I make like something that remotely resembles a wolf's face.
Yeah, you still have time.
Onto my face.
So actually, you really have time to prepare here.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my preparation, and I look at everyone like and try to make like a wolf's grin.
Okay.
This is very important preparation for my battles.
So you definitely get inspiration for that. So.
I'm like, "Brah, I'm ready."
And I think, Mike, I'm gonna stand a bit back this time with my crossbow, because I do not want to get close combat with how injured I am.
Okay, so basically we have 3 in the back row, like 2 with ranged weapons, Effie with a dagger, and like Hagar is like probably over here somewhere.
I'm looking at the dagger, and I'm looking at Deoch and Calavandra, and say, "Don't miss," as I like make my final preparations.
Okay.
Could I? I got 2 hand axes that I can throw. Can I ready them in some way close by to my great axe that I could throw them? Like put them next to me in the ground in a stump or something, and then I can pull them easily. More easily.
You can do it.
Yeah.
So basically, like next to you, just like your axes and anything else you want to do to prepare.
I think that's it.
Okay. So you're basically like going down quiet, and you wait, like you hear like some rustling in the in the forest, like you hear some very light footsteps, and then like what you also hear is like, because you had some very good perception rolls. Let me quickly add some wolves here where they are. Oops, that's not a wolf. You haven't seen that. So there you go. Basically, we have like some wolves over here. And like they are approaching you, but what they're also doing is they're trying to circle you in here. Like some of the pack is coming from here. And you also see them now.
How far is that away? Like the closest wolf?
You can always like say like your figurine, so to say, is around like 5 feet.
5 feet. So I've got a range of 150 on my longbow, so I'm gonna take aim.
There's trees in there, so
okay.
You won't be able to shoot like down here because you would hit a tree at some point. But we can just roll initiative right now and see like what's how you fare, I could say.
Ooh. Is which dice is initiative?
Also
D20.
D20. I got a 19. I'm in the zone.
How the tables have turned. I've got a 2.
I rolled.
Okay,
rolled
a
incorrectly.
2 or like with like in the added initiative bonus.
Oh, there's an initiative
Yes.
bonus.
It's next to AC.
I rolled a natural 20.
That's good.
So I've got a 7.
Okay, Diok has 7. You got a natural 20 plus. What was your initiative?
Plus 3.
Plus 3. Okay. Helga. Sorry.
I got a 19.
19. And Calavandra, you said like 23. And Efri?
8.
8. Okay, there we go. So you see them approaching, and you have basically a full round before they are here. Calavandra actually would have 2 rounds, like to do anything you would like.
I think I would. Is it possible for me to go up on the tree, on the branch, to get cover there so that I don't get attacked?
So actually, like you probably wanna climb up that tree, for the say.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that. You can try to climb. Because you're actually pretty bad hurt, so actually, typically you would go up a tree pretty easily, but since you're hurt, I would actually like to see a test from it, and it would be acrobatics.
Alright. 2 rolls again.
Mm-hmm.
A natural 20.
Well,
And a natural 20. I
Oh
promise.
my
I
word.
promise. I
Screenshot.
promise.
Screenshot didn't happen.
I don't trust you anymore. I really
With
don't.
that,
I promise.
Okay, it's crazy. Like, you see that she's really hurt. Like the whole trip, like she was like, and she like wolves, and she's like, huh. And you can't look as fast enough. Like how she climbs up the tree, she's like swinging up the tree, and like is really like in like one of the upper branches, and she's like holding her crossbow and like waiting for them to come. Okay, so if you're not doing something, like we would commerce with combat. Okay, yeah, no objection. So wolves are attacking. Wolves are coming here. Like 3 of them actually charging onto Helga at the same time. Seeing
Luck.
like the big Skellige, thinking like, yeah, 3 against 1, that's like easy prey.
that's fair.
And the rest of them are like coming from the side to try to get to the remaining ones. And like you have a full round, like basically to react until the wolves react, and then like it's normal combat from there on. Because you are prepared.
Okay, I'm...
Calavandra starts actually.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to ask about the crossbow.
Mhm.
So the dagger has +5 on the modifier. What would the crossbow be?
Let me see if you have a crossbow actually. I'm looking at it.
It's on the bottom left.
On the bottom
Um,
left.
is it in the box that says proficiencies?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's basically because you need to check like what's in your equipment, and in your equipment you have like 2 daggers. You have a short bow.
A short bow.
Yes. So you can use that
wait.
like, if you want to.
Yeah, I'll use that.
Then you need to go to your equipment tab and just like check the short bow. There's like a check mark, so to say, and as soon as you do that, it actually will be highlighted in your actions and in your attack columns. So to say.
Equipment?
Equipment and then inventory or all.
Yeah, equipment. And,
Yeah, but where's equipment?
there's
On
like,
the right.
that is tabs on the right. You can like click through.
Sorry, my thing is just slow. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. As soon as you have equipped it, you can like it's if you go back to actions, you see it in the actions tab as well. It has +5 for you and 1d6 +3.
Alright. So 1d6.
First, you need to roll like with a d20
Oh, the
to
20.
see if you hit actually something, and you need to tell me like where you wanna shoot at.
At the wolf on the right.
Okay.
Alright.
The ones basically who approach Efri who are not yet there. Then roll the dice.
15.
That hits. You can roll damage.
Wrong one. 5.
Okay, so the first wolf actually gets like an arrow straight into his chest, and he's like, you hear this like beep, like from his like voice, but he's like shaking it off. He's like a bit limping, like as he has the arrow in the chest, but he's like still approaching Ephraim. And the next one is Helga.
Alright, so I see all these wolves approaching, right?
Yes.
I would like to charge them. Can I try to intimidate them with a manly Skellige growl, just like charging at them, screaming?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay, is that my action then, and I can't attack?
No, like this is like your very special round because you prepared so good. Like you had this time, like you can like charge at them, scream and intimidate them at the same time, and like if you reach it, which you will do, you can also attack them.
Okay, yeah, unless they run off.
Yes.
I can imagine I have to scream quite loudly for that. I'll try. Yeah, the scream is only a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess I got something stuck in my throat.
Well, what do you want to do? Like you're not doing like this big manly growl, but there's still like a little growl coming out. So, however you want to do it.
Yeah, and then I try to attack the first wolf that gets under my axe.
Okay, so like you have 3 wolves in front of you. You're just like moving over there and like, well, you can hit
The
like
one in the middle.
The one in the middle. You go.
All right. It's plus my strength. And it's 22.
That is pretty good. So like you hit the wolf. You can do damage.
So natural 7. Do I get any bonus on that?
Yeah, you get like the +3.
Oh yeah, wait. Plus 3, yeah. So it's 10 damage.
Okay, so like you hit the whole wolf, and like you make a big cleave right through it, and like it actually is getting pushed back. It actually falls to the ground. It's like you hear this like this very poor sound, like this sound like, and like it slithers back, and it's not dead yet, but it's like it's really has a hard time actually to get back up, and like it tries to get back up and do something. So it actually this is not pushed back. So there you go.
Okay.
That's good. Then you have Ephraim. What are you going to do?
I back behind Dioch.
Okay, so
There's no chance. I have absolutely no chance.
okay. Then we have Diok.
I tried to shoot the other wolf that is closest to us that is not limping yet.
This one. Okay.
Yes. What exactly do I add to my roll? I rolled an 11.
You have, if you look at like your actions tab, you have like the longbow there, and you have like +7 on the longbow.
Okay. Okay. So 18.
18, that hits. You can do damage.
1d8. That is a 7 plus 3.
7 + 3. That is pretty good. So like the same thing, like kind of like what happened with Helga. Like your bow has so much force, like the air, and like also you shoot from such a close distance that the arrow is really like with such a force into the wolf, and the wolf kind of like slithers back a bit and like falls down to the ground, but still like has his arrow stuck out of him and like tries to get back up, but you've got a little bit of time. And then it's wolf time. So we have like 2 wolves and like 2 wolves simultaneously attacking Helga. They actually get a bit of bonus because like they fight like together. Let's see who's hitting you.
Good luck.
What's your AC?
13.
14. That's pretty good. So like only 1 wolf hits you. And it's 4 damage.
Yeah.
Bites your arm.
Kind of like that.
I'm already bleeding from many wounds, by the way.
Okay, then next wolves are closing in. Like the first one actually, like the one who is limping a bit, like takes his strength and like just jumps straight onto like Diok, while the other one kind of like circles around and actually sees like there are like 3 wolves with Helga. So instead of like attacking the 3, like he's just like approaching Helga and like going straight there. And he's like attacking you from behind, so he actually gets like advantage on the roll. And it's true. And a 4. Well, good job there. Like, you just see like while you're fighting off like you have like a wolf on your arm and you're like ah. And at the same time, like you see like another wolf like jumping at you, and, like just missing you barely. So, and the other wolf attacks like Dirk. So that's a 19. I guess it hits.
No.
So let's see. And that's 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage.
Oof.
Big oof.
Okay. So next round, like first one is Calavendra.
Alright, I see that Helga's got 4 wolves on him, and I want to attack the one that's behind him.
Okay. You still have disadvantage. You would also get disadvantage because like you're shooting into like a group of people. So I'm not sure if how we deal with double disadvantage. So I would let's say like we'll just take disadvantage and you can go. So just roll 2 dice and let's see.
Alright. So I rolled 17. And then 6.
Okay, so it's 6 then.
Yes.
And you have like a bonus on the shot put +5, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that actually barely hits. So you kind of like gets like well, roll damage and we'll see.
No, that was a damage. Oh, I had to roll a 20 twice.
Yes. Oh, you didn't. And roll another
No.
20 then, please.
That's also 17. They both 17.
Then you hit. Now you can do damage. You can do it to 6 now.
Yeah.
You really need to check your dice though. This is like getting out of hand.
It's the online one.
She hacked it.
She is a coder.
So like a d6 and add the +3.
Yeah.
How much do we have?
Didn't I say 6?
Oh, it's 6. Okay, cool. So the wolf behind like Helga gets hit by 6. Okay. So like Helga next to you just hear like this crossbow noise and it's like whoop. And yeah, that's what you hear. and a small wolf like going like doing this like poor sound again. And next one is Helga. Like it's your turn again.
So I find myself surrounded by wolves.
Yes.
I am heavily wounded.
Have you ever played Beyblade?
I wish I could do a spin attack, but I am afraid I don't have such a thing. And I can't enter a rage because I used 2 of my rages and we haven't done the rest.
You're pretty exhausted, that's why you can't rage. Like you've been walking all day, you have been raging 2 times already. You're like already at your limit here.
But of course, the only thing I can do now is meet my ancestors with a battle cry on my lips, and I throw myself at the next wolf, and the one on the left of me, and I try to strike him down with my great axe.
You wanna use your inspiration or?
That gives me advantage on my control, right? Yeah, I will use that. I will use that. So advantage on my attack. Okay, yeah, it's a good thing. The first throw is a 2. Classic Helga. Well, that is a 7 plus 5.
That hits.
That hits?
That
Alright.
hits.
Good
You
thing
need
we
to
did
change
that
your
already.
dice. It was serious. Like this is.
Well, today I was quite
It was better. That's true.
better. So, right. Oh. I do 5 damage.
Okay.
But I still have a battle cry on my lips.
Sure. So like you try to hit it with the great axe. He jumps like a bit back, because he sees the axe coming, but you still like hit the meat and like you tear down a bit of his like fur, and like you see that you left the flesh around onto him, but he's still standing there and like he's ready. I think you made him angrier. So.
Which wolf was that?
The left one.
Okay. And the one
Okay.
behind him is still alive?
That's still alive, but
Yeah.
it has a crossbow bolt like sticking out to him.
And it was shot with a longbow, right?
No, you shot.
That That was the one behind him.
That was the one
Sure,
shot
yeah.
by the short bow.
So
Thing.
actually, yeah, it's really it's kind of like already like limping hard, but it still like attacks him. So, and this is what happens now. Actually, like we have now 4 wolves because this one. Well, let's say 3 because this one is still like getting up and attacking you. This misses. There we have a hit.
Oh.
And a
don't think
miss.
I can
Well,
survive.
it's not bad.
I don't think I can survive.
Let's see. And that's 5 points of damage.
Yeah, -3.
Okay, so you see like the wolf on the side jumping at him, like actually pinning him to the ground and like biting him, and you just see like the great axe fall out of Helga's hand to the ground, and the 3 wolves kind of like change the targets and look at you guys, like the small group behind you.
Okay,
Oof.
I have a plan.
I still have a turn, right?
It's now.
Me too, I hope.
It's Efri's turn.
Yeah. Efri is super nervous and glad that no one is around to see her this nervous. But in a moment of, dare I use the word, inspiration, she remembers the words of the letter in her backpack. And, like, seeing Helga fall to the floor, storms towards the 3 that are encroaching on us, and like on her way there shouts to everyone to get down, and then I'm going to try casting Static Storm.
You don't need to try to cast, you actually cast it, and like every creature in the vicinity needs to take a saving throw.
It's a Constitution 13 check.
Okay, so how do you wanna like describe it? What are you doing?
So, like, I don't know how epic I'm allowed to go with it.
Do
A
it.
bit.
Like, there's like as like she starts walking briskly towards them and kind of clenches her fists, and then there's like, I don't even know how cloudy it is, but everyone hears the sound of thunder. And then I guess everyone feels like the static.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like you hear this like thundering noise, and suddenly it's like a shockwave, kind of like emerging from Efri, as lightning would have struck her, and a big blast wave like basically goes through the whole clearing, and basically Diok needs to do a saving throw, and Calavandra, you get actually advantage on a saving throw, so you can just make a normal saving throw now because you already have disadvantage. So Ari, just do a normal Constitution saving throw, please.
Natural 20.
Okay.
You're safe.
I jump behind the tree.
No, I tell you what's happening.
Nice.
Calavandra,
15.
15, that is pretty good as well. Okay, so you can roll damage now, Efri.
How many times?
Theoretically,
How many of the wolves? Did the wolves just insta-fail?
yeah. Well, you can we need to roll damage anyway. So you basically have 3. Wait, how much is it? It's like 15 foot, right? Okay,
It's
so basically
15 cubed,
you roll for 4 wolves actually, and tell me, first wolf.
8.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is 12.
Mm-hmm. Give me a second. Oh, no, it's fine. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Third one is 5.
Okay.
Fourth one is also 5.
Okay. And what's
Please
happening?
have been of some use.
Yes. And then please roll for Diok and roll for Calavandra.
Oh, sorry. 5 for Diok and
So-
14 for Calavandra.
So it's 2 for you, Diok. You lose 2 hit points.
Can I cast Quen while I see her charging towards the wolf? Because I
Oh, you haven't used your action, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can cast Quinn.
Can you protect both of us?
I did give fair warning.
Let me see, Quinn. Yeah. So Aldir, like as you see her channeling and like you see like the static building up on her, you're like reacting immediately. Like your medallion is like pulsating, and you're like, oh shit, something's happening, and you cast Quinn right at the moment when you hear this thundering storm, and like a shockwave hits you, and like Quinn just absorbs the shockwave.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't take any damage. Calavendra, on the other hand.
Oh my goodness.
You're sitting on a tree, and like you hear the sound of thunder, and like you're utterly not prepared for this, and suddenly something hits you right in the face, and you're just like, you're getting knocked out immediately. You fall from the tree, and you crash like somewhere here down on the ground, and like.
Wait, she rolled a 15.
Yeah,
it's a con 13 spell.
You did 14 points of damage,
Oh.
and like she only gets half of the damage when she succeeds in the saving throw.
Oh.
So, and she has
whoops.
3 hit points, so she's kind of like.
Sorry! I don't know how the system works, apparently.
So you just fall down, like you just black out, like nothing is there anymore. And what you see is like this wolf basically just like got like this. All those got thrown back. All of those 4 just don't move anymore, and there's the last wolf over here, and he's like looking at the group of you, and he's just turning away and like running into the forest.
Chase it!
I immediately go to Herga and see what I can do to revive.
So the first thing is like Herga and Calavendra, please make a death saving throw.
Not now.
That
It's
means-
too soon.
It's a Constitution saving throw again.
Constitution.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Same.
awesome.
No way.
Thank you.
So Herga, you're lying there, and you're like, oh, what happened? And like you're kind of like, oh, what's, and you have like 1 hit point now.
Okay.
Calavendra, you on the other hand, like you just blacked out straight, but you're out of like Death's grip for right now.
Yeah, someone has to carry me then.
That's the situation. The combat is over. Congratulations, you survived the wolf pack.
I am so close to dying.
I don't understand. Well, I do understand how I still have full HP. What are you talking about?
I wake up and I see Efri and I ask, oh, is this the afterlife?
Thankfully not.
And
I do go about trying to do what I can to like heal him up.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and grab a Calavendrel that fell from and move her towards the center of our group.
Okay. Yeah, when you watch her, like she's like unconscious. She's like pretty like beaten up. She breathes though, so.
And I'm gonna suggest that we take a short rest. But the problem is that this is a pretty, like it's a high traffic area, so I'm kind of scared that elves might come back here. Do you guys think we should move a bit into the woods, or should we stay at the campsite?
I'm collecting my hand axes while we're contemplating.
I think we have to stay, to be honest.
I think we have to stay.
we have to take the risk.
We're dead on our feet anyway.
Yeah. I'm gonna suggest that we also then, I guess, does it help us if we have the fire on?
It's probably like the good thing is like it's summer, so like the nights are not cold, so you don't need the warmth per se. Also, like the sun is coming up, so it's going to be pretty warm in a second anyway. So
We'll light the fire when we're looking for food, but for now, I think we can probably.
That's a good idea, and I'm gonna go step away a few feet, lean against a tree, and gonna use second wind. Or second wind.
Yes.
Is it wind?
Wind.
it's a second wind.
Good. Okay.
Okay, so second win is you can roll 1d10.
Ah, damn it. It's 3 plus 1. Okay.
So basically, you see him down, like meditating, like next to a tree, and like he's not gone, but he's like controlling his breath, and he's like just going into his inner self, and like that's
Right.
happening.
What can I do to heal up our companions a little bit?
You don't really have the tools for healing per se, except you have like a healing kit.
They're stable, right?
They're stable. Like also like when you look at them, like they're breathing, they are really beaten up. So what they really need is rest. Like they just need like big times of rest.
Then I put my foot down and I like tell them no. Even if Calavandra is saying I'm fine, I'm like, you are not fine. Go to sleep. Do not make me knock you out a second time.
Am I conscious yet?
No, you're
Okay.
Okay, then Calavandra just rests, and I make sure Herga. I focus on making sure Herga rests.
Am I conscious?
you're conscious.
Okay, so can I walk around? Am I strong enough for that?
Yeah, but like you're like honestly like it's more like a zombie walk. What you're doing,
Okay.
nothing more.
I insist that you come and sit down or lie down.
I'm waking up from my second wind, or not waking up, but I become conscious again, and then I ask Effie if she might maybe take the first turn being the guard of the group, and even before I hear her answer, I fall asleep immediately.
So like, do you even pull out your sleeping bag, or just like good
No.
night?
No.
Okay.
In the shade of the tree.
Effie, take watch.
So when those wolves overwhelmed me, did I lose consciousness, or did I see what happened with it?
No, you lost consciousness while when the wolf hit you, but you woke up after like the big vroom, kind of like hit you like oh!
Okay.
You
So
saw the bright light.
I saw the bright light. So with big eyes, I look at Effie, and I ask like, Effie, are you a witch? And I like have really big eyes.
Are you
Freya?
Are you a marker?
I contemplate the answer for a moment, but I see no point in lying, and I kind of like silently just nod my head.
And I just look like starstruck because I've never seen a real witch before. I'm like, oh, and I slowly fall asleep because I'm so exhausted, and I surely dream about
So I
you
get like
throwing lightning around.
Effie stands there, and everyone talking to Effie is like, hey, foop, hey.
I'm just kind of standing there. And actually, like while I take the first watch, it's not like I go very far out, but while I'm close enough to keep an eye on them, I also have a look around to see if I can find berries or herbs or something that we can eat when everyone's back on their feet.
You can go survival.
Survival.
Mhm.
I got an 11.
Okay. So you're approaching around.
Oh wait, sorry, 13.
13?
I forgot to add the
Okay.
bonus.
Yeah, you find some like berries and some like some mushrooms. You're not totally sure what mushrooms they are. Like with a bit maybe like you read about like mushrooms in forests are kind of like dangerous. Like you read about the red ones, but these are kind of like brownish. And you like there's so many brown mushrooms in the forest. You kind of like you're not sure if that those mushrooms were those mushrooms or the other ones. So
I at the risk of this being a terrible idea, I pick them to note to ask Deoch when he's awake whether they're safe in consumption.
good choice. Okay, so you're going back, and how long do you want to like basically keep watch?
What do I have on me? Like, I'm probably keeping a quite vigil watch for a couple of hours, and then start to get bored.
Well, actually, that depends. Like, if you succeed on another Constitution throw, because like it's
I haven't been asleep for a while, have I? Constitution 15.
15. That's You barely keep awake, but you actually keep awake.
Yeah. So after a couple of hours, I maybe start to. I have a book that I probably start perusing as I'm like trying to at least keep an ear out for what's going on around me. But I'd say like after 3 hours or so, I try to wake Dior up so that I can get some sleep as well.
Okay. So after a short rest, Diok...
That's 4, right? Short rest? No.
It's like in the Witch universe, like rules work a bit differently than normal universe. For example, wounds don't heal like magically full overnight just because you slept, for example. But short rest is something like, you sit down for like an hour or two, and like long rest is like something six-ish, kind of like, depends on the situation, bed, etc. And that actually regains you some hit points. For example, it also like rejuvenates your spell slots, blah blah blah.
I then, after a couple of hours, I wake Dior up, but I say to him that I need significant rest as well to recharge, otherwise I'm literally no use to anyone. And I also give him the mushrooms to say, can we eat these?
So Diok, as you wake up, you can roll a d4.
It's a natural 4.
And you can add your Constitution modifier to that, and that's the hit points you regained over this short rest, actually.
That's the what?
That's the hit points you regained over the short rest.
My Constitution is +3, so that's a 7.
Yeah.
Is it though? It is actually. Oh my!
Right.
I saw the +1 here actually. Why is it +3? Oh, you are the saving throw modifiers. I'm actually talking about the Constitution modifier because that's +1.
Oh wait, Constitution +4. Wait, I get 2 more.
Excuse me?
You can you have like a Constitution modifier and a saving throw modifier.
Ah, that's a saving throw modifier. Okay. So where's the normal Constitution?
+1
Right at the top.
over your 12 at the Constitution.
Oh yeah,
0,
sure.
I think.
It's +1.
+1. Okay.
Okay, so I gain 5 HP. Okay. And I also regain the chance of casting Second Wind, right?
After a short rest?
Yeah, it says here once per short rest you can use.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
Okay, so like you wake up, and after you basically just go to sleep again.
I tell him
Oh, the mushrooms.
I didn't find, nothing happened. The others are still asleep, and I think we should let them rest a little longer. I found some mushrooms. I don't know whether we can eat them. And I need to get some sleep. And then, without asking for permission, I go to the campfire and fall asleep.
Okay, so you can make a survival check to see if the mushrooms are viable.
It's a 9.
You're not sure. That's the correct answer here.
Okay.
How long do you want to stay, watch, or do you want to do something specifically?
Yeah, I gather all of the wolves that have been killed and build a sort of a pile next to the campfire and start skinning one of the wolves.
Danke dir. Oh, das ist ja viel. Alles gut. Danke dir. Sorry. What is you're skinning them?
Yeah, I start skinning the first wolf, and the other 3. I think there were 4 wolves that died. Still lie next to the campfire, and so I go on and skin the first one, cut it into pieces with my nimble little hands,
Okay,
and
so basically making food.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So probably also get some sticks where you can actually basically hold it over the campfire, and like make another survival check just to see like how good you are in like preparing like food. And,
Ooh, it's only an 8.
well, okay, but still, like you're making some meat. It's not like the best meat, like you're not perfectly cutting it, like so it's like the best fillet, so to say. But it's more like chunk of meats on the campfire. It's definitely eatable. You're not like there's not something you can do wrong in this case, but yeah. Okay, like how long will I keep watch?
I feel pretty good, and I'll walk up to Calavandrel and see how much, like how her constitution is right now. If she needs a lot of.
She looks pretty beaten.
She looks pretty beaten. And Helga, she's still sleeping, right?
Same thing.
Right. So I don't know. I'll wait until I would say like 6 hours maybe.
Okay. You actually, what's your hit points currently?
Mine?
Yeah.
Should be 10.
10. Okay, you actually are able to keep the watch. And after 6 hours, like, are you going to wake them or?
It's afternoon now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna before I wake them, I walk towards the river.
Mm-hmm.
That's really close by, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
make a perception check.
Perception check. It's a 14.
Mm-hmm. Your medallion is like vibrating slowly.
Oh.
Okay, so I immediately stop walking towards the river and start walking back slowly, hoping that I didn't trigger any game cues, and walk towards the campfire. And
your Witcher like experience like from the past kind of like tells you if it's like this, it's probably not something very magical in the area, so to say. But some monsters, for example, like trigger this behavior as well. So if it would like shake more, it would be in the near vicinity. But somewhere around this, like probably not the safest place where you are currently.
Yeah. So I'm gonna walk back and I'm gonna quickly check my inventory and see that I still have a water skin, and I take a few sips of water and then I start waking up Helga.
Yes.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Okay, so basically everyone who slept over 6 hours now took a long rest, which means like your spell slots are regained, which also means like you can make your every class has like a constitution dice. For example, like Helga I think has like a D12 or a D10 or something, which he can roll now to get some hit points back. Let me quickly check that. Helga has a D12 exactly. A D12 plus your constitution modifier.
Okay, earlier I already did the D4. Should I take that back? Was it only for those who woke
That was
up?
only for Diog because he had the short rest.
Okay, sorry.
And the same thing like for Calavandra, you can make a D8. You can roll a D8 plus your constitution modifier.
Alright.
9 plus 4.
Okay. That's the amount of hit points you get back. You're like, it seems like the wolves like hit you pretty hard, but like not something substantial. So you're very like a very tough guy. You kind of like you feel the pain, but like you're actually it should be more or less fine.
Helga, did you add the saving throw mod?
No, you get like the normal constitution modifier. You get like D6.
+4 sounds high.
Yeah, I've got Constitution +4.
Oh, that's true. You have like Constitution of now +2. Your modifier is +2. It's like written
on my screen. It says +4.
It's written on top of your Constitution. You have a saving throw modifier and a Constitution modifier.
Oh, that's saving throws. Sorry.
Yeah, I did the same mistake.
Oh, no. So it's +2? Alright, then I have to detract 2. Sorry.
And Efri and Calavandra, what's your...
I had full health.
Okay.
6 plus 2.
6 plus 2. Well, that's... Are you always rolling the highest amount possible? It's amazing.
It was a D8, wasn't it?
A D6.
Oh, D6.
Oh no, the 8. For you it was the 8. No, it's true. It's fine.
Yeah.
So that's the amount of hit points you actually regain after the rest.
All right. Cool.
Okay, there we go. So you are woken up. Calavandra, the last thing you remember is lightning or like thunder, and like that's it. And Helga, you are like, yeah, well, you know what you said.
And I'm like, what happened?
Is the fire still on?
Yeah.
The fire wasn't on.
Actually,
was it?
Georg is making meat on sticks. It's
Okay, so it
delicious.
smells like it's flesh burning or like
Yeah.
cooking.
And you're hungry.
Oh,
All of
so-
you are very hungry, actually.
Okay, but I'm also a bit spooked by like I slowly open my eyes and I smell this and I turn around and I'm like, is anything burning? Is anything burning? And I'm like really scared, and then I see the campfire, and then I act like as if nothing happened. I'm like, oh, is that meat you're cooking? Is this the wolves?
Indeed, my friend.
I'm hungry like a bear. When is it done? And I like approach the fire and see how far the food is.
Do you want it medium or rare?
As rare as it comes.
All right. Grab the first one then.
Wolves over there.
Actually. No, the first one's nearly done. You'll get the second one. This one goes to Calavandra first.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you eat meat?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Good.
Even in 1200 whatever.
Yes. And I go up to them and I ask what happened before I blacked out.
And I just look at Effrey without saying anything.
Effrey kind of glances around and says, I did warn you it might be dangerous.
Yeah, I also slowly come to my senses and it's like, oh, you said you were a witch, so you can cast
And I say,
thunder
you're a
and
witch?
fire and
Technically, I prefer the term sorceress, but yes, the means of magic are open to me, though a lot of what I've done is very theoretical up to this point.
I'm just like flabbergasted, like there's like with a big smile on my face and like looking at Effrey. I'm like,
You easily fall in love there.
no, this is not like the fall in love.
Yeah, it's the- I know.
Look, it's the like fanboy.
He gets easily impressed.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like it's like a child basically. It's like, oh.
Okay.
And I just feel miserable.
I do turn to Calavandra and I say, for what it's worth, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll probably get payback next time.
Okay.
That's the spirit, Calavandra.
Wait, what?
I like put an arm around her. Like that's the spirit.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm slowly taking the arm away.
Because I feel miserable.
I do ask. So, as I'm waiting for food, I guess like I don't know much about tracking, but I guess it's quite obvious that this has been a thoroughfare, and that there are quite a few. And so I turn to Dale and ask, have we any idea on where to go from here?
Well, there are a few tracks leading towards the river, and I think in like every imaginable direction from here. So it's going to be hard to see where the kidnapping group went. Maybe I can check the tracks and see if I can find any information on that.
Okay.
I hope this is worth it.
In this case, I would go for another survival check actually, because you see the tracks. The question is, how do you interpret them?
It's 17 plus 3, so 20.
It's pretty good. So you're checking the tracks, and you can kind of like discern like which one are fresher and like which one are older. But it's really hard to say like what are the kidnapper tracks, so to say.
I didn't hear the first part of your explanation.
Sorry, you can discern like which are the newer tracks and which one are the kind of like the older tracks, but not which one is like the kidnappers tracks.
Which direction do the newer ones go?
The new ones actually went some upwards, and some actually went downwards as well. Like the upwards are a bit older than the downwards part. There are a lot of tracks going like south again. Some are going like east.
Okay, so south would be downwards, right? Here. And that's where we are also trying to get at.
Well, you know that the village of Windbrook is like somewhere south of you. What's east of you? Probably forest and at some point mountain.
Okay. And where's the place where the shipwreck took place? Is that north of us or south of us? North of us, okay.
You basically followed the river on like basically downwards.
Okay. So the tracks that are a bit older are basically we're leading northwards, like where we came from. So I would suggest that when we are ready and done and full, then we start going south.
Do you think this was the where the ambush was planned, or where they rested before?
I think this is where they gathered and met up before the ambush.
Well, I think it was the elves who sent those wolves on us. They always have something in the back of their minds.
What are you trying to say?
No, look at Calavandra in a very suspicious way. No,
And I
like,
look at you in a suspicious way.
You want to make a stare battle or?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, roll intimidation, I guess then.
What intimidation?
Intimidation.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's going to be at least
I got
one
12.
of these
I
every
got a
week.
19.
Well, whoever wins, whatever
Oh.
you make of
Nice.
that.
1-1.
Do you keep track, Epri?
Yeah, we'll keep track.
Calavandra, where do you think your friends are hiding? Do you know these ones?
You're the one that has suspicions of elves. You should know.
Oh, I've never been to these parts.
Helga, your meat is done.
Oh, and I sink my teeth. I grab it and I just sink my teeth in it. I don't care if it burns my hands. Just, oh, no.
Delicious.
About Squirtel tactics though, what do you know, Calavandra, is that Squirtels typically gather somewhere, like kind of like a mission briefing, and then they like they spread up or whatever, like to move to the destination to strike as the plan, and then typically there's like a destination where they retreat in case A, B, or C.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's actually very military, so to say, like in a way.
Calavandra, I'm gonna ask you in Elvish if you saw anything on the elves that reminds you of their origin, or if you can tell where they came from, and hope you understand Elvish.
Yes, I do understand.
Perfect.
I do too. For what it's worth.
Oh no.
You don't know that though.
Am I the only one who doesn't speak Elvish?
Yes. And like
I don't know.
I can
Good.
speak Elvish though.
But no one of you knows that Efri can't speak Elven so far.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Oh, okay. So I reply back to you in Elvish and say, it's not. They don't look familiar.
Okay.
They don't have markings like what I've seen.
And then I grab the next piece of meat and pass it on to Efri.
Thank you. Much appreciated. I also prepared some berries, and I start sharing those out throughout the course of the meal as well.
Nice.
Okay.
I guess we leave the mushrooms of unknown origin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
So
still-
you
okay.
basically are well fed at some point. Like Diog even replenished his water supply. What's your plan?
Did I replenish my water supply?
I thought like you
I tried to go.
Backed
but
away
then
from
my,
the river.
well, then
Which
not.
sense is tingling.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't feel like another necessary interaction. Place of
Well,
power.
I feel
Must be.
like my
be.
memory is coming back to me, and I say, "Wait, they still abducted Rhea. Where did they? We have to save her." And
Oh,
look
I
excited.
forgot about her.
How can you forget about her? She's the reason we were in the forest.
She's the fairest maiden of them all.
Yeah, I have to say,
We have to assume that the southern treks are, or well,
I'm gonna go ahead and take the fire out and pour some dirt on the ashes, and then gather my supplies and say, let's head south. Either we find Rhea or we find the next town. Both should be good.
Okay.
And
Goody.
then I lead the way.
Can I climb a tree to see if there's any towns or any points of interest nearby?
Yeah, you can there's one of the bigger ones as well, so you can try to climb up there. The bigger ones though is very difficult to climb because they're not really side branches. It's basically going straight up, and it branches out on top, while the smaller ones actually have trees on the side as well. So you can basically choose small or bigger one.
A big tree.
Big tree, yeah. Well, go ahead. It's like the acrobatics.
is it still at
Acrobatics.
disadvantage?
No, she's fine now.
Don't know that it matters because they're going to be natural 20s.
Yeah.
And
No.
Pseudo.
This is. So must I roll twice?
No.
Or just once? Okay. So this one's 13 plus 7, so which is 20.
Okay. There you go.
plus 7.
So you actually you have this special technique where actually using your body to fixate yourself on the tree, and you're kind of actually going upwards. So, and it's pretty high up there. You can see mostly forest. You kind of see the river going in between the trees, and there's some big trees which kind of obscure your sight a bit. But in the distance, way down south, you see that the trees at some point actually stop. So, and on the east of you, if you look south, it's actually on the left side of you. In the distance, you actually see mountains.
A mountain.
Mountains. It's really a big mountain
proper range.
Mountain
Yeah.
range.
Okay. So then I go down and tell everyone that there seems to be a clearing south.
It's more.
Where
It's
there's-
not a clearing. It's really just it seems like the forest ends at some point.
Well, yeah, there's trees down there, and is it east that the mountains were at?
Yeah.
And that there was mountain ranges on the east.
Are they identifiable? Just for my,
Yeah. Depends.
I'd like to know whereabouts in the world we are so I can learn some Witcher lore.
You could do some history.
Okay.
I'm also gonna do a history roll.
Sure.
I'm gonna take another piece of meat.
Sure.
I've got a.
I rolled a 12.
Me too.
2 12s? Okay, that's pretty. That's fine. So
I'm making no use of my +5 in history.
that's fine. So basically, what you know is to the east, there's the mountains of Markham. You heard of them? Because you actually have been traveling there in the direction of them as well, and they're the biggest landmark kinda in the area east of Sodden, so to say. So yeah.
Do I have any indication of us wanting to stay away from them?
No, not really. They're just there are
No?
only a few
Okay.
mountain passes to Markham, and the dwarves typically hold Markham and all the gates and passages there. So if there's no reason for you to go to Markham, why would you go to Markham? Kind of
Sure.
force.
Cool. I just step in line behind Deoch then to head south.
Yeah, enjoy.
Kind of brushing myself down, making sure I'm presentable still.
I still have blood on my clothes.
Yeah, well, it happens. Okay, so you're making your way south.
Yep.
Okay, then let's make another perception check for the walk down there.
Natural 20.
Good.
10.
19.
19.
Okay. All of you basically notice nothing. So there's some like sometimes you hear animals like brushing off like the through the brushes basically, but there's nothing like dangerous going on there. The Aina flows still, like it's way more calm on the day. Like you see a bit farther, and you can basically move through the whole day without any distractions. So the question for me is, do you want to do something special, or do we just like want to walk through the whole day?
I do think to ask what Calavandra is doing, because I already know. We heard at the beginning of the tour what Herger's plans, as crazy as they may seem to our minds, are, and I've spoken to Dale, so I kind of turn to look at Calavandra as we're walking and asking, what brought you to the ship in the first place? To get stuck with our merry band of misfits.
I'm sorry, but if I told you, there would be
I would have to
big
kill
trouble.
you.
There will be big trouble
I
towards
see.
me.
Okay. A secret mission, then. Interesting.
Yes.
Are we like in the near area and can you hear that?
What's the travel order?
I was at the front.
I think I was at the back with Ifri.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
guess
so I
it's
didn't
like
hear
up
that.
to
Same
your
as
Witcher
before.
ears or your Witcher senses.
Yeah. Maybe better. Okay.
How you want to deal with it? Like it's your choice. It also depends like how secret Calavandra and Effie were talking. If they were whispering, it will be hard.
I wasn't whispering. I was openly like starting a conversation, assuming us four were the only ones around.
Then you probably.
I'm gonna then ask Effie back and ask what her goal is, like what brings her into these woods or on the boat.
I chuckle and say, I spoke no word of a lie. I'm travelling to Winbrook to further my studies under a tutor. I don't name the tutor, though.
Okay.
I say I've just completed my studies at Aretusa and thought I was prepared for the world. Thank you for proving differently. I kind of glance at Herger.
Yeah, and I would also like to talk to Effie, but I would like to do it in a way where nobody else can hear us. So maybe later during our walk, when we change the walking order a bit. Is that randomly happening? I mean, when you walk
It
through a
depends
forest?
on you and Tally.
Well, is there a chance?
I would be walking directly behind you anyway, so if you slow down, then I naturally catch up.
Yeah, I would try to slow down so that Calavandra overtakes us. She would probably side-eye me and walk past me anyway. She wouldn't want to have anything to do with me. So, then when everybody else is out of hearing range, I would softly speak to Effie. Effie, when you are sorceress, does that mean you could use your magic to make somebody forget about something that happened?
Effie kind of side glances at him. I'm sorry. I suppose magic of that sort is possible. I probably would have read of memory altering spells, right? So I say I'm sorry, that magic is possible, but I don't personally know anything about it yet.
But you could learn it in the future.
Yeah.
And
I seek to learn as much as I can, so maybe in the future.
And I say, well, then there's hope. And then I pet Effrey on the back, and I say,
Yeah,
one
she
day.
looks at the hand and suspiciously asks, "Why?"
Just forget about it. It's not important. But
I
say
fall. If you're going to continue talking, continue talking.
I was just about to say, like, I would say something like, one day maybe you'll learn about these things. I believe in you.
If you start to speed up again, I say to you as you go, don't count on me forgetting.
It's not you whom I need to forget. Or I ominously say. And then I walk on.
Okay. So, anything else? Because otherwise the day would pass by without any interference. Okay.
Seems good.
And at some point, you see like the forest kind of like clearing up a bit, and suddenly it ends. Like the sun is actually already coming down. Like it's kind of like it's not. I would say it's like 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. or something. And the sky is bright red. And when this forest suddenly ends, you see in the distance like a small town or like a bigger village or something. It really depends where you draw the border there. And I feel a bit strange like being out in the open suddenly, because like the change from wilderness to civilization is like kind of abrupt. Like the forest ends and like fields start, more so to say. And yeah, when you like go forward like down there's actually a path down there, so like you can actually jump on the path, so to say. And while you like go down the path or like look at the path down, you actually see like some lumberjacks like with axes, like kind of like walking in your direction.
Civilization, it seems.
Shall we approach those lumberjacks and ask them for the way to the nearest town? I would say so.
There seems to be no harm in it.
I'm just whispering to myself, oh my god, more people to interact with.
I do say to Deoch before, like, are we still following
Yeah.
tracks?
That's what I just realized. We completely forgot about the tracks.
Just like we forgot about Rhea.
What you did is like you followed tracks, but at some point like when the forest grew lighter, like they kind of dispersed.
Mm-hmm.
But like in your choice, like seeing like a path actually down there and like following footprints, I guess you chose the path, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's the logical.
I suppose there is a chance that they took her to town, though that looks... Depending on her condition, that might look suspicious.
Do we have a general knowledge of how the towns in our vicinity react towards elves?
Depends. Typically, they're kind of like neutral, especially in Wergen lately, and also like Brugge Sudden. There have been an increase in Skirtel commandos. So depending if the village has been heavily targeted by like these ambushes, they may be more hostile towards you, or they may be more like just indifferential. So some of course are like even trading with the Skirtels, like especially when they have some hawkers in the village, then they may actually be openly friendly, because they're good for business, so to say. So I guess it's really depending on like the village.
Fancy flipping a coin, Witcher.
The thing is, like Calavendra though, she typically wears like this hood, so you don't recognize her as an elf like right away.
Yes. And I don't wear the typical commando clothes like the rest of the elves.
So I say we should ask these lumberjacks. They basically lived in the forest, like the elf tree people. So they're like almost neighbors. Surely they have seen the Skirtel and can tell us. But
Okay.
Rhea.
I'm not entirely sure you understand how lumberjacks work. Yeah.
I'm going to turn towards Helga and say, let us do the talking.
I concur.
Okay. So you approach the lumberjacks. They are like, I still see you like coming through the forest, like with blood on your your clothing and like with heavy bruises, and they're like, huh, and coming in your direction, and they're like, hey, how you guys doing? Like, where do you come from?
I'm gonna go ahead and say we had a shipwreck.
A shipwreck again?
This is a common occurrence to you.
Well, lately, like, Squirtel grew bold every day, you know? They started to, like, trying to, like, interfere, like, every ship that comes down the Einer. If they're, like, only some people on board, they just rob it and, like, kill people on it. It's madness. Some heavy guarded ships, like, pass through easily, but, like, if they only spot, like, some people on it, it's, like, free food for them, so to say.
How long now?
The Squirtels? Squirtels have been a pain in the ass since, like, I would say, I don't know, a year probably, but they grow bolder every day.
Why are you not doing anything against them, I say?
Against the Squirtels? Against the Squirrels? Have you seen them fighting? No. We're not venturing in the forest. We're staying in our town, like, we're doing some wood chopping on the edge, but that's it, like, no one ventures in the forest, like, except you're mad, like, you squirrel food.
Look at you, you're a lumberjack. You're living in the...
Yeah, I'm a lumberjack. Do I look like a warrior to you?
You've got an axe. You know how to use it. I say you're a coward if you don't fight these.
Herger, stop. My apologies. No insult was meant.
I, like, rumble into my...
He checks you out and he's like, tomorrow the witch is open. Like, you should probably, like, with those, like, injuries, you probably should go and see the witch. Like, we have one in our town. Like you should check. You should check her out.
We have a witch with us. This is
Oh, you're a witch as well. Oh, my apologies. I should have seen. Like,
Every kind of, like, puts her head in her hand for a moment,
And
rubs her eyes, and then, like, looks back up
and
and says, yes, I am.
both you
I'm
see
just
like
standing to the side, like, loving this.
you see both woodcutters actually really take one step back and have, like, but there's not fear in their eyes. It's like respect, and, like, they're really like, oh, I'm so sorry. We should have recognized earlier. Like my condolences. I'm
Nothing came of it. It's not a problem.
If we can be of any help, like you just need to tell us.
Where can we find this
I
grid?
kind of passed the invitation on to deal a little bit.
There's a few things you can help us.
Sure.
Did you perhaps see a tall, very strong, fit-looking woman passing by?
Yeah, indeed, actually, yeah.
When was that and where?
Last night.
Go on.
Oh, she's the barmaid. She owns the tavern.
Oh, okay. And that's the inn, I suppose, in the town?
The inn? Yeah. It's wait. Give me a sec. It's called the Wandering Trout. Yeah, it's the Wandering Trout. Lady Iva. Oh, the good soul. She actually she owns the inn. She and her husband actually.
What was her name?
Oh, Iva. Oh, Lady Iva. I'm sorry, Lady Iva. God bless her as well.
And the second question: do you know where the Squirtel come from? Do they stay in the woods or do they have a camp somewhere?
Oh, we don't go into the woods.
Okay.
But the answer to the question is...
I'm sorry?
Do you know where their camp is? Do you know if they have a camp?
Oh, sorry, we didn't make it clear, my lady. We don't go into the woods.
I see.
I see how it is.
Interesting.
Well then, thank you so much for your help. Maybe can you point us the way to the town?
Oh, sure. It's the town right over there. Behind them.
Oh, perfect.
Sorry, I have to ask. Do we know what town that is? Did you say
Windbrook.
that?
Oh,
It's Windbrook.
It's Windbrook. Sorry.
Oh,
Where have you been traveling to?
Windbrook.
Windbrook? Oh yeah, perfect. That's the town then. You seek.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you for your
My lady?
assistance.
And they're going. What?
Ow.
Please roll insight, everyone.
Inside.
Insight, yes.
Sweet.
Oh,
7.
19.
Sorry, 19.
11.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. So who was the 16 and the 19, or 17 and the 19?
19 was me.
And 11 for me.
And Dio, what did you have?
I had a 7.
Oh, 7, not 17. Okay. So funny enough, like the Skelliger is the only one who really like gets the deeper vibes behind them. And what you see is like you haven't like you never met a sorceress. But when you heard like in the tavern people talking about sorceresses, they were never like this in awe as these two. Like they were like exceptionally in awe of a sorceress, you know? Like
Mm-hmm. So you mean the lumberjacks were very respectful towards
Yes.
Efri? Too
Respectful.
too respectful, yeah. You would like have known in tavern. On the other hand, like people in the tavern behave differently than in the real world, so it might be nothing, but you just like you had a feeling.
Okay, so I turn to Efri, again, kind of whispering to her, more or less so quiet enough that the lumberjacks don't hear us, and I say, Efri, I don't know if this is normal on the mainland, but the other Skellige kids, they always used to laugh at me when I was playing sorcerer in the woods. I've never seen anyone so respectful towards your kind. Don't you think this is suspicious?
Efri goes kind of stoic again, kind of hiding some internal disappointment. That's not the norm. And says, it's been a long time since I had much contact with people outside of Aretusa. I honestly don't know.
So
I don't trust these
If
guys.
nothing else, I trust your instinct, Helga.
Something's wrong. They're lumberjacks who don't want to use the axe.
Let's leave the lumberjacks for themselves then. Let's
already like
Yeah. Okay, so I heard them talking, Herger and Efri, and I'm saying, okay, well, they did say there was a sorceress in town, so maybe we should find out why they are so respectful.
Okay. So you're making your way to Windbrook. Okay. When you move like towards Windbrook, what you see is like it's a little town. It's a bit more than a village, but it's not really a town either. It doesn't have palisades or something. It's more like a selection of houses, and again, like probably something Herger, you especially, you know from your island. Typically, like as a village like this has a bit more defenses, so to say. Like especially like if you like square tail attacks are the norm, kind of like it. You feel like it's a bit under equipped to deal with those, but maybe they also have like very like vigilant townspeople, so it might be nothing as well. But yeah, so you make your way towards Windbrook. As you enter the town from the north, you see like a lumber yard. You see a lumber mill. The lumber mill actually like is powered by the river. You make your way further like into the town, like after the lumber yard, and immediately like two guards like approach you and like halt, like with big eyes, like halt. And they like approach you and like who goes there?
We want no harm. We're just travelers.
It is I, Helga, Slayer of Wolves. You know, I have come here to
just
save
roll
the
my
fair
eyes.
maiden. Right here. Have you seen her and the bastardly Scoia'tael scum that has abducted her?
Skelliger here. He's really trying to like make himself a bit bigger than like he actually is, and he's like, what's your business here? Like we don't know of this rare here.
We've come to see... Hold on, I need the name. We've come to see Lady Trisha.
He's like, he freezes, He's like, oh, my sorry. He's like, you see, like he's realizing something. He's like, I'm sorry, my lady. Oh, sure. Like, is this your traveling? Like, is this like your traveling party?
I give a very quick look, a very quick, like, knowing, dark glance to the entire party to say, don't say a word, turn back to the guard and say, yes, it is.
Welcome to Windbrook, my lady. Make yourself at home. If you need anything, like the guardhouse is like right over here. Like he points like behind the building behind him, like next to Lumberyard. It's like we'll be off your service for sure. Greetings to Lady Vastret from us.
May you point us in the direction of her quarters?
Oh, you can't like really miss it. Like you see the large tower over there, like that's hers. But she's not here today. Like she only Tuesdays. She only opens up business for Tuesdays for us peasants.
I'm sure that won't be a problem.
Sure, my lady. Like forgive me. Please go on your business. Look, excuse me that I disturbed your day. I'm sorry.
Thank you. And I just like walk clean past them and just expect everyone else to follow me.
Which we do.
Follow
Yes.
the solstice.
And then I guess we head towards the tower.
Okay. Good. So basically, you pass by the inn. You take like the crossroads. Like here, you go past the smith, who's actually like a really beardy man. Like could be Skellige as well. You don't know, but like he also has some tattoos. It's typically for Skellige, so you don't, but yeah.
Passing by the inn, I do turn to the others and ask if they'd like to check whether this landlady is the same person or whether there was some miscommunication with the lumberjacks. Because they agreed with our description of Raya, but used a different name.
Yeah, I got that suspicion too.
Really?
And then I can go on to Lady Trisha.
So, do you want us to accompany you on your way to the sources, or shall we wait here and then?
I'm asking. It might be worth investigating.
All right, I get it. All right, Helga, you wanna join me on a cold beer?
What could possibly go wrong?
Don't die this time.
To celebrate
Let's-
your heroic deeds against the wolves.
Let's see who can down more.
All right.
Me,
No!
Skellige, or you, a mainlander.
Calavandra, what are you doing?
I would like to go on my own mission to start on that. So I'm gonna follow the white lilies to the north.
Wait, what? Sorry. Like you're currently sitting you are currently in the city.
Oh, we're inside.
You're currently like next to the inn. You're kind of like standing at the crossroads here, with the inn to your right, and the mage tower looming on the other side of the river. And currently, like Helga and you want to go into the inn, while Effrey like wants to go to the mage tower, and like the group is kind of like splitting up here.
All right, I'll join them.
Which one, Effrey or the tavern crew?
Actually, I'll join Effrey.
Okay.
So I don't need.
I'm gonna, before we go into the inn, I'm gonna turn back to Effrey and ask if she'll return.
As quickly as I can.
Okay.
Okay. So they're split up basically. Let's go with Effrey for a second. Like Effrey and Calavandra. You make your way through the town. You pass the bridge to the other side of the river. You see like the mage tower is kind of like separated from the rest of the village. There's actually a lot of forest already again around the mage tower, while the town kind of like in the open with fields around them. And the mage tower is pretty big and it kind of looms over the city. and there's like a big door in the which is kind of like the entrance of the Mage Tower, but there's no one outside, and like there are only some windows in the Mage Tower.
As we're walking towards it, I reach into my backpack to pull the letter out, and then I kind of take a calculated gamble that if she has garnered this much respect, no one would bother knocking on the door when she's closed for business. So I knock on the door and hope that that's enough for her to realize that it's not a normal caller.
Right. So you knock on the door.
Yeah.
There's actually like a big, like this metal ring which you can like bam. Okay. Yeah, you bam basically.
I turn to Calavandra and I say, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what to expect here, so we'll see.
Okay.
And then I ask, what exactly are we here for?
I have prior business with Lady Varstrept anyway, but I wish to inquire as to people's opinions around the village as to why, because if nothing else, I trust Herger's instinct, and if he says that there's something suspicious, then who else better to ask than the source of the suspicion?
Okay,
I see.
You wait around like 1 minute and nothing happens.
Is it an open wall, or is this actually the door to the tower?
It's a door to the tower.
Do sorcerers normally take this long?
It is known to happen from one time to another, even in Aretusa.
What are you going to do?
I use the knocker again and then say, Lady Tricia?
Okay,
I call loudly.
You knock, you wait a bit, and then like a window opens and like a voice shouts outside like, "Business hours are Tuesday!" and like closes the door again. I did the window.
I knock one more time and I'm ready for the window to open this time.
Actually, the window opens. And she's like,
and
what?
As soon as it opens, I say, Lady Tricia, Varstrept.
She's like, yeah, she opens, like, what? And you say Lady Tricia Varstrept, and she's just waiting at you.
My name is Effrey. Do I add of Sintra? Is that how that works?
You may.
Yeah, I say, my name is Lady Effrey of Sintra.
And
I was sent here from Aretusa.
You look at the, like, middle-aged woman, like, let's say, like, 35, 40-ish, kinda. She has like her hair tightly knotted in like two buns, kinda like on her head. Like the hair is like brown. She looks objectively beautiful, so to say. But you already know like how everything of this stuff works. And like she looks down at you and she's like, "Should I know you?"
Not yet. I have a letter to show you why I'm here.
She's like, "Make it quick."
I'm a student. I was sent here as your assistant, as your apprentice.
And she's like,
were you not made aware of my arrival? And like, Effrey is physically trying to fight back embarrassment and not knowing what the situation is.
She's like moving like from the window, like she just vanishes in the window and like.
I quickly turn to Calavandra. Well, this is going well.
Well, we tried.
The window's open still, like.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's making her way down.
You wait a bit, and she actually puts her head out of the window, and there's like a big book in her hand, and she just like throws the book from the window like down and it lands next to you, and she's like, "You wanna be a student? Like, learn that. Meet me in 2 weeks. You don't live in inside my tower. Take a room at the tavern, and like, I hope you better train." And like closes the door.
I kind of
sorceress.
I look at the book. And then, yeah.
So sorceresses have tempers too.
After a moment, I kind of look back up and say, it is known to happen, yes, even in Aretusa. And then I sheepishly pick the book up and start making my way back
It's a big
towards
book,
the
though.
tavern.
It's like a really big book. You can actually like have it under your arm.
What's the title?
The title is A Guide to Healing by blah 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 blah.
A guide to healing. That's what I'll add.
Do you want to open it as well, or do you just like keep it?
For now, I'll just carry it with me. I just inspect the front and then like tuck it
Okay.
underneath an arm.
Okay. So you take the book and you basically go back to the tavern.
Make my way towards the tavern. Yeah.
Okay. So meanwhile at the tavern. So while like Effrey and Calvendra went off the road, you entered the tavern and there's nothing happening really. It's like already 6, so you expected that there probably is a bit more fun at the tavern, but it's kind of like really empty and there's nothing like there's no one there more or less.
Not even a barkeeper?
Well, you don't see anyone.
Let's enter. And sit down at the table that's closest to the window.
There are like 3 or 4 tables, not more.
Mm-hmm.
So you sit
And then
down
we-
and you wait.
Oh, wait a few minutes.
We can make a perception test. Test.
Oh no, this must be... was another 20, but I think I rolled the dice incorrectly.
Okay.
Okay. 6 plus... 2, so 8.
Diok?
18.
Okay, yeah. Diok, like, while you're sitting at the desk, you hear like metallic, or like, you hear voices out of the kitchen, like people discussing something. There is like the voice of forks and like dishes just like pouring against each other, and like it's pretty like it sounds like someone is having a fight or something.
So I get up and walk towards the kitchen door and try to eavesdrop and hear if I can make out any kind of words or what's going on.
Oh yeah, you hear like some arguments about like that the dishes are definitely not clean, and about how like I always have to do everything, like you do nothing, and stuff like that.
So I knock on the counter next to the door, like really loudly, hoping that
And
fighting
you
stops.
hear a loud voice like, "Bogdan! Guests! No!"
And then
and,
I
like-
move towards the table real quick.
Okay, like you move some steps, like behind you, like door goes open, and like a bit older guy with gray hair already, like a very strange, like how's it called? Like let me actually, like this is important. Let me look it up. It's called a pointed cap, like on his a Zipfelmütze in German.
Okay.
On his head, and he's like slurping like to you, like a bit angry face, like he's like and like you sit down on the table and he's like, welcome to the Wandering Trout, my name Bogdan, how can I help you?
Mead! Man,
Yeah,
mead! With,
we were
with,
hoping.
with thirsty.
You hear like a loud voice out of the kitchen, be friendly!
We were hoping to get something to drink, and we're hoping it contains alcohol, and it's beer, or meat, or
Beer.
ale.
Bogdan has beer. Bogdan can bring you beer. Do you want to eat as well? I have trouts. And trout
Surprising that
stew.
one.
Only
For
trouts
me-
then.
For me, meat will do.
Meat. What do you want to have, sir? Sir, what's with your eyes?
Oh, I'll pass on the chart. I'll just have the beer. please.
Sir, he's like, yeah, he just turns around and like goes straight back to the kitchen.
Okay, so I also look at Diog and be like, what is it with your eyes? And I look at him. What do I see? How do they look exactly? The
Like
eyes.
cat's eyes.
Yes. Okay. So, did you eat a cat? I heard that you give your eyes like this.
No, honestly, like most of the people actually knew that, like, kind of like, it's like, also like on Skellige, you heard of people with cat's eyes, like they're like mutants. They're like this
okay.
ominous monster slayers who like just earn their money by like killing wild beasts. And people actually talk about them being wild beasts as well. Like they're not nice persons. They're just like evil, and they're just maybe sometimes they actually put a monster in a forest just so he like it terrorizes the population, so they can say like, oh, I can get rid of like the monster, and like they're like really.
Stop spreading propaganda.
Okay.
That's what he heard. Like, I
So I would have known a long time ago that he's a witcher. My character.
Yeah, you have seen in his eyes like.
Oh, okay. Okay, then I'll. And I wanted to do something similar, like with Efri, but then it's too late now.
Yeah, you probably just like get used to it, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
I think you need to judge him on the actions he currently does instead of like what you heard.
Okay.
Which is ordering beer right now.
That is true.
So I heard you witches, you can pack quite a bit of mead. Is that true?
Well, yes.
Let's put it to the test, I say.
I've heard nothing less about the Skelligans, though.
Nothing can like there is not enough meat to fill a sturdy Skellige.
Well,
Bogdan brings
I know you
meat,
don't.
Bogdan brings beer. How do you pay?
With coin, dear
Good,
Bogdan.
you pay. Now.
Was there a female voice in the background earlier?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Bogdan. Who is this dragon who's living with you?
Ah, the dragon. Ah, you're a good friend. Ah, you know how Bogdan feels.
So
That's my wife.
There is an elf woman traveling with us. She's just like that, always.
He's
always
like
being
growing
mean.
pale immediately. Like he's like really like all his like face is like. And he's like, what?
Yes, exactly. You understand how I feel.
And he's like, have you told the guards?
About what a dragon?
No need to be scared. She's not a real elf. Her mother was an elf, but she's lived and grew up with the humans.
Yeah,
so.
you make a persuasion check here.
Oh, good luck with this.
Likes to blowing my cover.
A 15.
That's pretty good. So he's like, so she's not so she's not a real elf.
Oh,
No, exactly.
Calling her an elf.
Yeah, it's like a code name. Like this dude, for example, he's called Bear because he's such a tall guy with golden locks, and I'm like I'm the stick basically, and then we've got the elf. You don't have to make much of it.
He's like he's like sitting down next to you, and he's like, wife, bring beer. And like she's like, and you're out of the kitchen, and you're like, Bogdan, like you are waitress. And Bogdan like, bring beer now. And like actually like a minute later, like she's actually bringing like 2 beers. Like you see like this big woman, like she's kind of like not only big in shoulders, but she also has a bit of a like belly as well. And she's like sits down next to Bogdan, who interestingly is like very like small, like how to say, like I don't know, thin person, like, but like also I don't know. Anyway, like she sits down with 2 beers, and she's next to Helga, and he's like what? And he's like, they're traveling with, like, Bogdan heard they're traveling with an elf, but it's not a real elf. And his wife is like, what? Like, what? Like, what is not a real elf? Like, and he's looking like at you, Duke.
You know, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name's Diok, and we are traveling companions. We are trying to get south, and we are supposed to slay a monster. We've got a heroic mission, as my friend Herger once said.
And I slam down my fist, and I look grimly into the round.
And yeah, we used to travel with a person that we call Elf. She is obviously not a real elf, but it is her code name because she was supposedly raised by a very thin and elegant woman, and she's got pale skin, I believe, if I remember correctly. We haven't seen her for days, sadly, so yeah, she's not a real elf, you know. It's only her appearance.
You see, like, Monster Slayer! Bogdan is a Monster Slayer himself! He's slain the dragon multiple times.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, whoa, Bogdan, tell me about your adventure.
And I asked, Bogdan, do you perhaps play cards? Do you play Gwent?
And he's like, Gwent! Of course! Did you hear? There's a new faction going to be announced. Did you hear? Like, Skellige is coming to Gwent!
No, Herger! And I slam down my fist in excitement, and I say, when can I get the cards for Skellige? Where can I find them?
Bogdan doesn't know. Bogdan just heard from a merchant traveling through. Bogdan has no idea, but Bogdan will get like the best Skellige cards. Bogdan will crush you.
Skellige will be the best faction.
I hope they will be balanced.
I was like, just like Xing her beer. She's like, and she's like, Bogdan, you keep this in. You're not supposed to play all day long. And at that point, like Efri and Calavendra like just enter the tavern.
Okay. There you are. And have you been successful?
I see that we have company, and I choose to say nothing while Bogdan is at the table. But I have this book under my hand, and I kind of shuffle into the corner and put it down in front of me, and then just look and notice that we have visitors, and kind of just sit and wait.
Yeah, and I walk past and I see these other two strangers giving me a funny look. And I don't know why.
They're just looking at you and just ignoring you, basically.
Okay, and then I just walk past and like mind my own business and sit
like you're sitting
on
at a separate
nearby.
table, or
There's like a chair nearby.
oh yeah, well, there's like a lot of chairs, but like currently all people sit on one table. So you want to like sit at the same table as the people do, and then the table will kind of be full, or they want like move separately.
Like moves a bit separately.
Okay, so you're like one like who kind of like distance like yourself from from the table, and like Bogdan is like, Bogdan heard like you traveling with other people. Are those your companions?
Shit.
And Bogdan looks at Efri and he's like, are you the elf?
Efri kind of blinks and then looks at him and says, do I look like an elf?
And you see, look
Tell me, do I have elven ears?
And Bogdan grows pale yet again, and he's like, but my lady, Bogdan, so sorry, Bogdan, Bogdan is your servant, my lady. And like, what's interestingly as well is like his wife comes in from the kitchen, like sees like how Bogdan is kind of like doing the sword thing, and she's like, oh, my lady, I know it's not Tuesday, but can you look at my arm? And she's like raising like her
wait, sorry, dress. Do I know you?
And she's like, I'm Iva. I'm sorry, my lady, I didn't introduce myself, but you're a sorceress, right?
Indeed, she may look at it later, but can you perhaps bring us?
I knew it. I saw the book. I saw how she was dressed. Like, my lady, can you look at it? Look. can you see all these red points here? I don't know what it is.
I don't want to be rude, but the sorceress has traveled the past few days, and now she is very hungry. So if you want to maybe bring us some food, and then she can take a look at your arm later. Then
And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Of course. Bogdan, stand up to the kitchen. And Bogdan's like, Bogdan needs to go to the kitchen. I'm so sorry. I'll be back soon. And he's like taking his beer and like goes off to the kitchen.
When they're out of hearing range, when the doors close behind them, I look at the book for a moment, and I think that's the moment where 2 and 2 equals 4. And she says, "It seems our resident sorceress has gained some respect in healing, medical gains. I'd guess recently. Not currently very open to the idea of company.
I wonder.
Also, I have 2 weeks to read this. It's quite a challenge. I'm
it's
looking
actually,
forward
like,
to starting.
You've read so many books. This probably like you have like through in like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
Question is just do you know what's in there, and can you actually do stuff like described in the book? You know.
It's genuine excitement on Effrie's face for the first time, probably seen by everyone. She's looking at the book and she's genuinely excited to start reading it.
Both Bogdan and his wife are gone, right?
Yes, they are currently in the kitchen.
So I turn to Calavendra and say, Calavendra, I think we shouldn't tell anyone that you're an elf. You should just tell anybody that you're not an elf, no matter what happens.
Why? What happened?
People seem very tense about elves around here.
Calavendra, what you know though is like you typically try to hide it, like because you know how people react when they find out that you're an elf. So.
Yeah. But why tell me this now when I know I have that suspicion?
No, I thought elves were everywhere here.
I mean, we've seen plenty of them.
I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Effrie and ask her if she believes that the sorceress has ever left her tower, because it seemed to me right here in the discussion with Bogdan and her wife that his wife that they maybe thought that you were the sorceress from the tower, so perhaps they have never seen the sorceress. And maybe we can use that to our advantage.
Perhaps. I feel more inquiry would be necessary to jump to that conclusion.
So if you want to wait, like at some point, like you hear noises from the kitchen, and at some point they probably will come back. Do you want to discuss something, or do you want to let Bogdan come back to you?
I do ask whether I pick up on the reason why I suggested they go into the inn in the first place, and I say, I suppose then that this big muscular woman that we described to the lumberjacks was not Rahia.
Yeah.
Maybe we should ask her about her. Never seen. Rahia was the first woman that I've ever seen in such big shape. 2 of them at once, that can't be a coincidence. Maybe they're related.
Asking whether they've seen her is not the worst idea in the world. Asking whether they're related, we can
maybe not.
While you're talking, like you hear like Bogdan coming from the kitchen, like and he's like actually giving you trout stew, like every one of you, but like Effrie gets a trout, like, and there are even like some potatoes on it, and like Effrie gets a glass of wine, and all of you like just get like another mug of beer, like, and he's like, that's on the house. Bogdan is really glad that you're visiting Bogdan's inn. I'm so glad that you're staying here.
Bogdan,
I bow my head and say nothing.
Bogdan, you're a great friend. I hope one day you will share your Dragon Slayer story with me.
Bogdan gladly will share the Dragon Slayer story. Sits down, and at this moment his wife like comes from the kitchen and is like, Bogdan! He's standing up again, and he's like, maybe another time.
I know how it is, Bogdan. It's okay.
and he's like going back to the kitchen while his wife just like looks like he's in the kitchen and she's like looking at you from time to time. She's like and like waits, like just stands there waiting.
I guess we eat.
Yeah, as I see the potatoes on Efri's plate, I take a very, very deep sip from my beer and I try to look away from her.
And I pass you my beer. I don't
Calavendra,
want it.
I insist, you can't just build a beer again.
No, I'm not throwing it. I'm giving it to you.
I'm sure eventually you'll get to like the taste.
Iva like
not the
comes
taste.
straight from the kitchen right to you, and he's like, I'm sorry, my lady. You don't like beer? We have everything. We have. Wait, what do we actually have? They have. Let me see. They have. Oh wait, that's the schnapps. Give me a second. There we go. She's like, we even have like Bouclair White, like that's the best. Like we only have like two barrels of it. Like that's like the best wine you can get in the area. Like if you want wine, like we can provide you gladly with that.
Anything without alcohol.
Of course. She's like,
Don't shake your head.
yes, and she like goes off to the kitchen, but she's like she was really like thinking hard about like what she can probably offer you, and she's like going back to the kitchen.
I just start on my meal and say to everyone, "Enjoy your food."
And
Why are you shaking your head at me?
Galavendra, you will make yourself look suspicious if you insist on not having any of that precious beer. They will think you're an elf. They're the only species that I think of that would.
If you want to be alert all the time, you don't drink alcohol.
She comes back and she actually puts like a mug of milk in front of you.
A mug of what? Sorry.
Milk.
I guess it'll do.
She's like, and she goes back to the like door of the kitchen and kind of like looks at like your traveling group. And
I feel super uncomfortable in this place.
because it's very empty as well.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone other than us?
Not yet. It's like it's
It's
say
early,
6:30 or something in the evening.
Yeah.
And like, but there's nothing really going on right now.
Got a few questions inside my head right now, but
As you wait, like the door like opens, and like there's like an armored man coming in, like with actually the guard you've seen before, and like he just nods to the guard, and the guard just like goes into the kitchen and just like taking Iva like here and takes you into the kitchen while he's like just taking a seat and like sits to your table, and she's like, "Good evening.
May we help you?
My name's Gerhard. I'm like the guard captain of this small town. My little lieutenant like just like told me like we have strangers in the town, and like as a guard captain, it's just my duty to know like who's going in and out, and to just want to like introduce myself if I can be in service, and I also just wanted to know more about like who's visiting my town, so to say. So could you just like maybe introduce yourself and like what's your business in Windbrook?
How obvious does Herger make it that he has to say something?
I'm like actually like taking like a deep breath, and I'm starting to say something, but then I noticed like even I with my slightly slower intelligence remember that you guys always were like, let us do the talking. And I'm slowly exhaling.
So I see that. Well, I take a bite of potato. Let him relax back into his seat, and then say, "I'm Lady Efri of Sintra, and these are my traveling companions."
Like glad to make your acquaintance. Make an insight check, please.
Insight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please do better than last time, Efri.
we are in Mayena, right?
In Windbrook.
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 Ah, right.
I'm not the only one anymore who understands.
Wait, that can't be right. Oh, I misused the
Guys,
tool. I hit a natural 1.
Oh,
Oh, right. What is your status?
Oh,
our status.
What's with the others? Like, what did
So
you
what's-
roll on insight?
10.
Oh, we should all do it. Okay.
Yes, please.
16.
16?
Inside 8.
8, okay.
Helga?
Had a 10.
10, okay, fair much. So, Calavandra, you noticed that, like, while his, like, the other guard, like, was really awestruck when he heard, like, of Efri's name, this one doesn't really, like, not that he doesn't care, but he certainly isn't as awestruck as the other one. And Efri, like, you're, like, noticing total opposite. He's like, you feel like he's very intimidated by your presence, like you're putting too much, like, I don't know, pressure on him or something, and he feels like very uneasy or something, like, in your presence. And like Hergant, you like just think like, yeah, that's like normal reaction, like how you would react to.
I
Like
add. I'm an acquaintance of Lady. I've forgotten her name again. I'm an acquaintance of Lady Trisha.
You see, like, he raises an eyebrow, and he's like looking at you, and he's like, well, like in what way, if I may ask, of course.
Well, you may not ask, I'm sorry, but you are really putting a lot of pressure on my lady that we are escorting here, and I don't think Lady Trisha will be very happy if she hears that you are pressuring her companions.
He's like looking at you. He's still looking at you, Efrain.
I glance at Dale. Take another bite of trout. And I take my, I try to keep up what I think is intimidation.
Okay.
And like sort of slowly sit back in my chair and say, I'm a colleague.
I've never seen you in this town before.
No, I am. This is my first time in Winbrook. We're to be working together over the next period of time. Not sure how long yet.
Have you been?
I say we're to be working together over the next couple of weeks.
So you're not like. So have you met her already?
We met briefly before I came to the tavern.
So you're not from Nilfgaard, are you?
No,
I was like,
I'm of Sintra.
He's like, but you know that like Sintra belongs to Nilfgaard, right?
And I very pointedly say to him, well, it wasn't 24 years ago.
And he actually, you see, like he's like chuckling a bit, and he's like, I see. He looks at the rest of them like, how do you like, how much do you trust your traveling companions? Like what's your story? Like you look very, like, you don't look like a fitting company for a lady.
I kind of glance at the blood on Calavandra's and Urga's clothes, and I've like my brain is on rapid, like all wheels spinning. I say, indeed, I found them in whatever the town we just left. Maribor. I found them in Maribor. They deemed worthy of the price I paid for them.
And Helga is like burning, just like, I'm not saying anything, but it's like burning inside to tell him.
Chucking beer.
Like, is it, like trying to down his own eagerness.
I take a sip of wine.
And I'm just looking at him suspiciously.
Okay. So, like, he's looking at you, Efri, and he's like, do you trust him?
Yes.
How, like, do you know what happened in Windbrook 1 year ago?
1 year ago.
Mm-hmm.
On the road, we heard that a year ago the Scoia'tael started their guerrilla offensive on the river. But other than that, no, we've heard nothing.
And he's like, he looks at you like, and he's like really all serious now. Like you can see like he's like looking a bit left and right, like kind of like suspiciously already. And he's like leaning a bit forward, and he's like, you know what's interesting? And like what never goes out of my mind? Since 1 year, Scoia'tael attacks everyone, but they have never ever attacked Windbrook. And you know what like the lady of this town says? Like, she cast a spell onto the town, so no elf or no dwarf, like no Scoia'tael could ever visit the town. And you know what I think? That's total bullshit. I think there's something going on here. I've no proof, but something is wrong. And like we
I kind of cut him off and I say usually a village sorceress is to be believed if she says she has done something.
And he's like looking at you, and he's like, well, I'm sorry, it seems like I probably never mind, like I'm sorry to take your time. He's like standing up, and he's like, well, like, it was glad meeting you. How long do you want to stay in my town?
As long as the meat lasts.
So what's actually your business here? Like,
I'm just checking it. We want to find. Oh wait, sorry.
I don't see what our actual business is. I have my instructions already.
Helga over here is looking for a woman.
I am looking for a woman. She's strong like a bear. She kind of looks like the barmaid of this lovely tavern. Have you heard anything about her?
no, what happened to her?
May I acquire your name, sir?
My name? Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I'm Gerhard.
Gerhard?
Yes. What's your name, sir?
My name is Diok, and
Glad to meet you.
to be honest, I had a really weird feeling when I entered the town, and I'm not 100% certain if it's the spell that the sorceress has casted on the town, or if it's the lack of it and the lack of people, but I find it very interesting that you have this suspicion about the Scoia'tael, and we were actually attacked by the Scoia'tael on our way here, and this woman that we are trying to find was with us, and we believe that she was kidnapped.
He's like sitting down again, and he's like, let me get one thing straight. Like, what's your relationship with Lady Trisha Vastrept?
I've spoken no word of a lie. We're colleagues.
He's looking
I've
at
come straight from...
Yeah?
What, excuse me?
He's looking at like the
Is
whole
it
group,
called
basically.
Fanat?
Well, to be honest, we don't know her yet, and we have only supported Lady Efri, and we are obviously very supportive of Lady Efri, and if she says that she is a colleague of Trisha, then I guess we are in some form as well.
He's like basically standing up, he's like kicking down the chair, like he's like, do you want me to beg here? Like I need to take a risk at some point, but can't you see, like, you're the only travel group in like kind of like a quarter of a year which actually made it to Windbrook, and like who didn't like just sail through and like actually stay. You're my only chance to unravel this mystery. There's something wrong with her. She's like too nice. She's like treating people like there's something something in here. And you can make an insight check again.
All of us.
All of us.
Please,
Inside.
Please,
A natural one.
Nice.
4.
16, finally.
10.
Okay, so basically Helga is like his hair, but Calvin also share a bit of the same feeling. He looks like a bit like a lunatic. Like he looks like a bit of someone who's like a paranoid, who's like people who see like shadows everywhere, like who just make things up just maybe to make themselves more important or something. But at the same time are afraid of whatever. Like he's a very strange guy. Dirk, you don't know really. Like you can't really like see like how he fits into the whole thing. Like what's going on here. And after you on the other hand, like you kind of like see serious concern. Like he obviously has serious concerns about something, and like he's the guard captain of the town, and like he's obviously behind something, and he was really going out of his way to share something with you, and you already see how he immediately regrets doing it, but at the same time you see a bit like of desperation in his eyes.
I say to him, calm down, Captain. I'm not sure I've wholly understood your suspicions here, but if you would like to leave it with me, then I can inquire further.
And he's kind of like cutting you off. He's kind of like cutting you off. Like sits down again, like slams like the fist on the table, like since 1 year, Squirtel grew bolder and bolder. They're like attacking everyone in here, like they're kind of like going wild, like as they are like on a spell of rage. What do I know of magic? And at the same time, like the village is just like ignored. Like what's going on here? I've talked to people here. People vanish around the town. This can't be a coincidence. And like what's happening here? You know.
And Lady Trisha has been here 1 year.
Well, she's been, like, to be fair, she's been here more than 2 years. But like, do trust me. I've been in Novigrad once. I've been like serving as a town scout there as well. It's in my guts.
So your suspicion is that her presence is linked to the lack of Scoia'tael attacks without any magic involved.
Captain, before you say anything, you can be sure that whatever you are going to say stays in this room between us.
For sure.
He's like, you see like his smile lights up a bit, and he's like, thank you really much. Honestly, like there's no travel group who made it to Windbrook since a year who didn't immediately sail on. You're the first one I could talk to at all.
Do you perhaps know the innkeepers? Have they been here for a longer time, or are they?
Oh, they've been a long time. They're like they're peasant folk, but they're not bad people.
And where do they buy their beer?
Oh, like actually merchants coming through the river all the time, like taking it from Maribor or from even farther north. And
so,
like, sorry, yeah.
So merchants still get through?
Yes, they do. Typically, they actually have an armored escort or something. I don't know why. Like some merchants actually try to go in the direction of Mayenne or something without an armed escort anymore, because Scoia'tael presence has like been increasing like all the time. All these stupid like merchants would like probably like just risk it without any like armored guard or so.
And does the sorceress ever leave her tower?
I like only on Tuesday. Like on Tuesday she sets up shop. She sets up shop basically in front of the tower, like treating the ill, treating the wounded. But that's basically it. Like you only see her on Tuesdays.
I see.
How much have I heard the name Trisha Varstrept before my letter?
Not really.
No, so I don't actually know about her. But I have to make the assumption, and I kind of do as the conversation continues, that she is trusted by the sorceresses of Aretusa. So
Depends, like what, like you only have like the information that has been provided to you in the letter.
yeah.
What about the other people in the town, like the lumberjacks and the smith? Do they share your concerns?
They're peasant folk, like, you know, you can't really talk to them. They're like too grateful for everything, like the lady Vastrep has done to them. How would I like ever tell like the blacksmith that who has been like his child has been saved by the sorceresses, that the sorceresses has like some shady business going on? Like, how did you imagine that?
But what would she gain from this?
What do I know? I just know that everything is connected. Like, you know, I see the hints. Like, I've been a town scout for now like more than 20 years. You know, I have it in my guts. You know.
And don't know about this man. Seems like he got rock dropped too much by the mountain trolls.
Good sir, I would ask you to leave this with us for us to consider while we eat.
So yeah, if you've got anything else to add, be sure to give us as much information as you have, and then we'll go our way and we'll get back to you. You are at the guardhouse, I believe, right?
Yes. Like the only thing which like really like I'm not sure if there's a spell in place or not. Like maybe like it's like since you're a colleague of here, maybe you can confirm like if the spell of this exists or not. I don't know. But we have never seen in 1 year's Coetel within our within the fields or outside of the forest. So that's the only thing.
Is she pretending there's a magic spell that keeps elves from entering the city?
Elves and dwarf actually, like everything which could have been like with Squirtle, yes.
Non-humans.
Non-humans, exactly, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So no non-human could enter the city.
Yes, definitely. That's her spell.
I'm just sitting, smiling.
And she's
Leave
like,
it with us. We'll
You know what?
discuss it.
yes.
Nah, Helga's just like,
He's like, okay, like I'm going off to the guard's house. I hope like this conversation doesn't like go outside of the tavern. If you have any like information you can bring me, we have guards like trained how to catch a mage, but there's like nothing we can do without proper evidence.
so if we would catch one of those Scoia'tael outside the walls,
yes,
and we would tie him up and bring him in here,
Yes.
and he wouldn't like smolder to bits by magic
I don't
as
know.
he enters.
It depends on the spell, Helga.
You can actually look, Tara. You can actually.
I would like to see an elf smoldered to bits.
Effrey, you can actually make an Arcana check if you want to.
And I just look at you, Haga, like,
But that is a plan, Helga, right? We could.
15
Okay.
on Arcana.
What you know is like there are spells who can like kind of like guardian circles, so to say, like which prevent special types, like let's say, like evil, like evil, like you can say like, okay, like this troll is evil against me. You can't enter this circle like just rune, but typically they are not as big, and typically they are not as potent. So at some point, like they reach their certain limits, and they are also not. They don't burn to ashes if they cross it. They just have like a high repulse to go into that circle. So they're never foolproof. So like a spell which like kind of like turns elves and dwarves to ashes if they reach Windbrook is kind of like not what you see possible with current means.
I stay with my answer. I say it depends on the exact spell used. And again, I go to the captain a little less subtly this time. Do please leave it with us, and we'll.
And he's like,
I'll
"My lady."
think of it.
He's
Think
like,
on it.
Yeah, he's just like, my lady, Willibald! and like the younger like guardsman comes and they just like he bows again like and leaves the tavern, and that's where we leave it for today. So let me quickly pull up the chat here. Okay, there we go. So we just survived.
That's not gonna end well at all, is it?
Well, but I'm very proud of you. Actually, I didn't think you would be wandering off into the forest without any rest, but you survived the wolf pack. Barely.
Barely.
Barely, yeah.
I proved my worth.
I was really glad that you didn't go into the water, though.
You cut
go.
out. Sorry?
I'm sorry, I just wanted to say, like, I'm really glad that you didn't go into the water.
You cut out.
You cut off.
I am really glad that you're.
I'm really glad that you didn't go into the water.
Oh no!
What the fuck?
Is it maybe your microphone being too far away? I don't
Maybe,
know.
I don't know. So you hear me now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time you finish saying, I'm glad you didn't.
I am very glad that you didn't go into the water.
Oh,
At the river, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Because
of going into the river before Diok went there.
That would have been dangerous.
Yeah, that would have been dangerous.
I actually wanted to jump off the boat in an impulse first thing, because like what I kept thinking was, for some reason, when you described the boat falling on the tree falling on the boat, that it was like magically from the sky, like stuck. It was just like a tree stuck there. So I thought the only way to get to the shore was jumping off the ship and swimming, and then so I was about to jump in the water there.
That was fun and so intriguing. We've got so many things to do now.
Well,
We have a monster to slay, we have a maiden to save, we have a witch to not get burned at the stake.
I have
hope.
something to do.
You have something to do.
yeah, I'm
You have a
really
book to read.
curious like what your priorities are from now on. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
And I was so... I don't know, I didn't trust the guard at all at first. So I was really hostile towards him, and then that changed when he opened up to us. And then the other thing, I... Actually, it took me until Helga told us that what happens if we bring an elf in here. I didn't realize that an elf was sitting next to us.
I mean, it's a weird thing that you have to get used to when you're playing these games, player knowledge versus character knowledge, right?
Yeah.
Lothari, have a sneaking suspicion as to what's going on here, and I don't like where it's heading at all, by the way, Cricket, so thank you for that, because that's going to be awesome if I'm right. But also, yeah, you have to be able to separate out. It's like, okay, obviously we have to link up to the fact that there's an elf sitting behind us. So something's wrong. We don't know what.
Is that?
Yeah. So for me, it was kind of awkward because I rolled a 1 on like this insight on this guy, and my character is convinced that this guy's a lunatic. And like a natural 1 usually really means like it really is super completely wrong in an intense way. So I really think this guy is a complete lunatic. But then he says like elves couldn't survive here in the city, like they couldn't just sit here. So like reality and my perception are really in a battle here, and they're like,
It's going to be interesting next
What I
week.
say.
Are there any interesting chat questions for us?
Actually, like there are just some rule explanation, like how like the silver work against
Clarifications.
monsters, for example. They actually really applauded you for surviving the wolf pack because it was really close.
I'm super glad that I did enough damage with that spell, because if I hadn't, that was it. We were done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And like there was a lot of like applause for Helga being very observant, because like he didn't like get a lot of stuff, but then he just like rolled like 2 high rolls in time, and like he's just like getting everything. So that was pretty interesting for the people. And
Yeah, I love
generally, like,
Rob's comment.
Yes, people generally like, really are with Helga. Like they really like are like, does he survive? oh my god, does he die? You know, like they're really like cheering for him, like the barbarian. Oh my god, you know.
I live, I die, I live again. It's okay.
Jon Snow.
Yes. Also, like there
It
was
was a
one comment like, "Oh shit, the big Skellige warrior was killed by a dog." So, well,
Was
Was
what?
what? Sorry.
Was what?
the big Skellige warrior was killed by a dog. So yeah, that's about your fame, right?
I was actually surprised by how much damage the wolves can take.
They could tank.
Yeah.
They were really tanking it.
Actually, not. Like they are not. Like I think wolves are actually like on the monster like challenging level. They're like really low. So
Which is bad for us.
Yeah, because they still took more than like 2 shots, and that was a lot.
yeah, but I mean, like you're also level 1 at this point, so you know it's
Yeah,
there's
of
room
course.
for improvement.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's wrap it
I
up then.
also
Yeah?
I was super curious about what would happen if we would either cross the river or like go north actually, and not down south.
Well,
That's
at some
super
point, we
cool.
probably would have landed in Maribor again, I guess.
Yeah, I'm actually more suspicious about the tracks off to the east now that we're here and we haven't found her.
You need to help me to get the story a bit going forward as well. Like if I say like everything is south, and you just think, okay, well everything's south, let's go north. Then let me write another adventure, please.
Yeah.
No, but you're doing a great job of it feeling fluently. Like
I'm glad.
it feels like everything's supposed to be where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I
Well,
couldn't tell what part was what's the word? Improvised.
They actually like I made like different like branches, so to say. So that you could have also gone east, for example. So there would have been something there, but
Yeah.
maybe you find it out in later rounds. Maybe
Yeah.
you're not. We'll see. So
I think at some point, so our priority as a group is figuring out our priorities as a group.
Yeah.
okay. Well, thank you very much for playing. The next episode will air next Monday at 19 p.m. or like at 7 p.m. CST. So thanks everyone for watching. Also thanks for the comments. It's really nice to see.
Thank you,
like,
everyone. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice to
Yeah.
see like being compassionate about the characters. And I'm looking forward to next Monday. And until then, have a good week. And we'll see you hopefully next Monday. So cheers.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.